Shit. Sorry, you haven't even gone through the whole introduction yet.
I know I haven't.
They haven't even started yet.
They just caught someone opening, bitching and moaning and griping and getting ready to go kill something. All right.
That's them.
Heavy sigh. Let's wait.
Hey, Mom, bring down another dozen cookies for Mike.
That'll mellow my ass right there. Oh, won't it?
Good one.
Either that or put you on a sugar high.
Greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen, of the Braveheart. 88.7 FM, Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio, the small station with the big mouth. I am your host, Michael Wagner, be with you here for the next 3 hours here on Saturday. Oh, a little bit less now, since I'm only 15 minutes into the fucking show. It is our normal Saturday get together. It is February the 1st.
The one?
The one?
The firstest.
I still like the once better.
Yeah, the once is better, you're right.
February 1st.
You're right, it is better after hearing it.
And tomorrow is February 2nd. It was a very important day being the tooth. How long can I keep this up? I don't know.
And Ponce County School will tell you both of his.
Is that right?
That's exactly it. I know there's some sort of sporting event going on tomorrow, but that doesn't matter. That is totally irrelevant. No elephants are involved in with absolutely none whatsoever. Tomorrow is Groundhog Day.
Yes. Now.
And there can be only one.
Yeah, there's only one.
All right, now.
Even though he committed suicide last year after he was so wrong.
No, he did not. Phil is eternal, you heretic. We'll get into that in a minute.
That's the one in Concord in the...
Okay, if today is the one,
Yes, it is.
and tomorrow is the two,
It's two.
Yeah.
does that make Monday the third?
No, it makes it the Threek.
Then that makes it the threeth.
The threeth?
Threeth.
Threek. And then...
Now, then it gets normal. Fourth.
No, it gets to be the Fourth.
No, it does not. Now you're fucking it up. Shut up, you. Anyway.
And then on Wednesday, I claim the 5th.
Or you trigger fast, I'm not sure which.
Of wild turkey, no less.
I'm going to try to refine his tastes. I've been looking at the selection of single malt scotch down at the local distillery.
You might as well drink turpentine. It's cheaper and tastes better.
Fuck you. I happen to like single malt scotch.
No, I'm talking about wild turkey.
Okay, well, that wasn't where we left off in the
I
conversation.
know, but that's where I picked it
That's
up.
where he went. He drifted.
What?
Knock it off! I can't do it because he's got a palate in his lap. All right. Anyway, that guy over there, founder of Braveheart Radio, Mr. Daryl Civic.
Yeah!
That must have been one of my hallucinations after drinking a bottle of wild turkey.
You just frighten me with your capacity for that stuff. And sitting to left as one might expect. Tech guru extraordinaire. Yeah, filling off a little bit. Baker John, Mr. John Weber.
Hi, hello, how are you?
That's him.
Jim, that guy.
Inequality.
Right there. The one that is busy punching buttons on his...
Yeah, having
whatever
the thing pop back to him.
It's whatchamacallit.
Yeah. Well, I got to do it because he's got the whatchamacallit. Anyhow. I think, and I probably shouldn't say this too loud, I think we are out of the deep freeze for this winter.
We may be, although...
I've been looking at the long-range forecasts, and they don't say, but look at the polar vortex! It's fucking winter, all right? Deal with it. Yeah, global warming my ass. Now, don't you understand? Climate change causes these things. You're an idiot.
Well, sure it does. Because we're going from spring to fall, or spring to summer, or spring to winter, or just winter...
Spring to winter? We're going in reverse. We're going backwards!
And whatever. We go from one season to the next.
Well,
Almost winter, still winter, construction.
And that's only 2 days.
no, construction is eternal.
Yeah.
Construction is eternal. I can't tell you how many orange barrels I've mowed over in the past week. Not this week. Last week. I'm losing track of days again. I've been home all week, which is what's throwing me completely off. Get into that in a minute. Opening rant, seems that we're already 15 minutes into the show. What's new and exciting with you?
Well, nothing's new and exciting with me, although my pain level had been going down. Started Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday and Thursday and then yesterday, but then,
Yeah, that was encouraging.
yes, it was. I was actually feeling pretty darn good.
Oh, God, Jack, don't give him any ideas.
Then the wife
Wow. It's frozen.
froze it. Then
That was cold beer.
No shit.
I can't drink it.
he's got a plug in here. Cut it off.
Drill it. Here. Really?
I'm desperate.
There's a refrigerator full of them.
You're taking all the fun out of everything, man.
Gee, man. Good.
Dave's not here. Anyway, rave on me, Doug.
So anyway, where was, oh yeah, so anyway, we decided that we were out of firewood, so we decided to move some firewood today because it wasn't too cold. Well, that was a mistake. So I'm paying for it. But hopefully the signs are, the one leg is cleared up, it's just one that's now sore, so I'm hoping that by tomorrow, half a bottle of Vicodin later.
Half a bottle. Only half a bottle, Darryl?
Vicodin, it's not just for breakfast anymore.
Vicodin, the breakfast of champion drug abusers.
Well, no, hold on. There's a lot of sports dudes out there that probably will rely on that shit to get to a game. Be that as it may.
But what pissed me off this week is the State of the Union, when our present dictation,
Our
dictator,
fearless leader.
dictator, I'll get it out yet.
Yeah.
Our fearless dictator.
Well, you, well, you said, don't hold back. Tell us exactly what you think.
He has basically told Congress to go shove off, that he's gonna do what he has to do, with or without their approval.
When it was implied, that was one thing. He basically said it outright. You know, when the whole thing, I've got a pen, I've got a phone, I'm gonna get, really? Okay. All right, what are we talking?
Once, tooth.
Oh, the one, yes.
It took me a second to get it.
Okay.
From Mandy. And she sent that in a tweet saying apropos. It took me.
Oh,
Do you see it? Look for it.
Look for it.
there must be something I'm missing here.
That's what I missed it too.
It's coming.
No, it's just reading hard. You're gonna have to point it out, bro. I'm not.
23rd. Yep.
You're right.
Appropriate.
Yes, 23rd. You look at it.
Yeah.
And it's not there until you actually say it. 23rd.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm reading.
I'm looking at it.
I'm not hearing it in my head.
I'm thinking.
All right.
Myself, I don't get it, Mandy. What? Oh!
The 23rd. It's right in.
23? That's even better. 23.
Then it should have been an RD.
The 23.
We're gonna have to work on this.
Yes.
Save that. Save that. So.
Ringtone.
Beer and pumpkin cookies do make a good taste combination.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and do that all night. Fuck it.
So
Yeah,
the worst part of
we're never gonna get you out of here. Go ahead.
But the worst part of the whole thing was when he was giving that statement or making that statement was the goddamn idiots in Congress stood up and applauded him.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure.
They all should be taken out and hung by their testicles.
I can't understand that one.
How?
Well, finding them would be the first priority.
Well,
that might slow down the process.
you'd probably have to use a nozzle to blow them up.
The tire pump showed up their ass. There they are! Ground! Hoist away! Okay. The visual. I can see the visual. Now,
Fidget John
there are
Wright.
some members of Congress that probably wouldn't have a problem with that. But
Yeah, might have to use a pretty big nozzle.
Otherwise, it ain't gonna stay in, it just keeps flopping
Yeah.
out.
It's like,
All right, the show's going to hell in a handbag.
The country's going to hell in a handbag, so why
Well,
not?
yeah, but that doesn't work.
we here at Braveheart Radio have gone crazy. We'll be back later.
I come back. Don't leave me here. Anyhow, continue with your story. Now, as far as the State of the Union, I don't understand. I heard about these guys standing up and applauding. I did not watch it. I cannot watch it. I have not watched the State of the Union probably since Reagan's time.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Either I have not been in a location where I could watch it when it was happening, or I just couldn't stomach what I was going to see. Even during King George II's reign, I lost my respect for him a long time ago. Yeah, and in case anybody who's watching this doesn't get it, we have never held all that much fondness for W either.
Nor Clinton before him.
If you really want to take a look at it from George the Elder through Slick Willie, through W, and now O'Dumbo, the names have changed, but the song remains the same, if you really are honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And we'll lay it out in detail at a later date. We've done it repeatedly over the years, but the first thing what people will say when you start bad-mouthing the O'Dumbo is, you're just one of those Bush supporters. Fuck no. If you got to listen to any of the stuff we said about W, you'd know damn well that wasn't it. But
the only reason...
why would they applaud making themselves irrelevant unless they, with Boehner bending over to spring the cheeks of his ass for this guy,
including now on immigration.
Yeah. Some of the guys we had come out we thought would stand tall. Well, Ryan's economic plan was good, but his stand on immigration is I'm sorry, non-starter. Whatever you think, bro, go for it.
The reason I know about this or saw this was I was in the VA getting ready to donate, or not donate blood, but to give some blood for a blood test. And they happened to have the, of all things, the Weather Channel on, and of all places, Weather Channel was playing this excerpt of the State.
Well, it's like MTV. You can't turn on MTV and see a music video anymore.
No.
Perish the thought.
Yeah. What are you, some kind of an idiot or something? So,
I'm a child of the 80s.
So,
I was stoned the whole time.
but there was...
Explains a lot, John.
There are a couple other things that I read, heard since then, is Obama is now calling for a new national retirement plan.
Heard about this.
The confiscation of IRAs.
And your
You thought it couldn't happen here? You fucking idiot.
We already have a retirement plan that was supposed to be set up to back up other people's private plans called Social Security, but that's not good enough. Now the communist pecker-headed sleaze cheese.
The whole idea is just we don't want you figuring it out on your own. We want you dependent on the government, because obviously you don't know what the hell you're doing.
And then you all have a guaranteed same amount. Welcome to Socialist America, Communist America.
America's spelled with a K. Yes. Welcome to the...
But that's, I can't stomach talking anymore.
Yeah.
These people are a bunch of no good pukes and they are diseased. And need to
resist. Do not comply. I can't stress that enough. You don't want to try a fight for?
Yeah, as soon as I find my pipe.
Okay.
There it
You
is.
hit it. Now, anything more there, big guy?
No, that's basically it.
Johan, you got anything in particular?
Yeah, I do. 1 second. Let me grab a stick.
Hey, stick.
No.
That's what Obama said the other day. Let me grab a stick.
You can end this private town. Jerk water.
I lost a couple of brothers this week.
How so?
2 firefighters in the city of Toledo died in the line of duty.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me say that anybody on the job feels the same way. Every time a brother or sister goes down on the job, a little piece of them dies along with them. The memorial service was Thursday night, and it was televised. I mean, it's big news. You know, I mean, it was big news. And I'm on Twitter. I could not bring myself to watch it because I get way too emotional. I've been to firefighter funerals. Saddest thing you'll ever see.
I understand. It's been a while since I've been to one, but I get it.
And somebody on Mandy's timeline, like
I think I saw it.
said something to the effect of, when is Big Bang Theory going to be on? Why do they have to televise a funeral? And my first thought, beyond a killing rage, was,
Sure.
This is what America has come to.
It's been that way for a very long time, and I can give you a personal example. We had this, back when our company was still whole, we were a one-engine company. But whenever there was a rollout, even when we knew it was a false alarm, we'd have 15 guys hanging off the damn truck.
I know. The good old days.
Now,
But,
we had people who lived next door to the firehouse. When the cars would all show up, we parked wherever we could.
mhm.
And apparently,
That still happens.
the guy that lived there was on his way to work, couldn't get out. We would have, we actually had, at this time, we had a working fire. I don't know how much.
Another brick.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how, we actually had a structure. And the comment she made, she was yelling at us to get the cars out of the way so her husband can go to work, and she said, it's pretty damn bad when a fire is more important than my husband going to work.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was a quote. That was a quote.
Wow.
Now, while everybody else was getting on the truck, I just came to a dead stop. I said, okay, we'll remember that when your place is on fire.
Yeah.
We'll just sit here and watch it burn. It's not important.
Anyway, the two brothers that died, one was a 15-year veteran of the department, and the other one was a Greenhorn rookie. Signed up in September of last year. The older veteran, okay, Mandy just tweeted me something, probably related to what I'm talking about. But the older veteran was single, had no children. The rookie was married. He was like 31 years old. Was married and had 2 kids. Okay. Oh my God. Owner of building where 2 firemen died arrested for murder. Thank you, Mandy. I'll get into that
Yeah, we need
later.
to talk about that.
But the family of the veteran firefighter, because the man was single with no kids, pledged every cent that they got in his name to the family of the younger firefighter.
That's the way that works.
It is the way that works.
That's the way that works.
And there were, I don't know, like I said, I didn't watch it, but I'm just going to guess, thousands of firefighters from around the country, including some from Canada, that showed up to this thing Thursday night. It's all about brotherhood. And yes, women are in the fire service. I fully support them.
It's a term.
My late mother, rest her soul, was a firefighter. Brotherhood is all inclusive. And we're starting to see that kind of bond in the 3% community, and we have a story to go with that.
Yeah, we definitely will. We'll do that during the PBS portion.
That is the kind of bond that we as freedom-minded Americans need to adopt. But even though I didn't watch it Thursday night, I was very emotional because I knew what was going on. I knew what, if you've ever witnessed a firefighter's funeral, it is heart-wrenching. But I've been to one in person several years ago up in Erie. I could have done my entire career without ever having to do that. But the support in the brotherhood is unlike any other, and we're starting to see that now in the 3% community.
Actually, I think as far as 3% is concerned, I think that's been there all along. It's just because the awareness of the whole concept of the 3 is growing, thanks to the various bloggers out there, local networking amongst each other, what we're doing here. That awareness is growing because more people realize that they are part of the 3. They're not alone, and that's the key. What do you got there, dude?
The owner of the building where 2 Toledo firemen died on Sunday has been arrested on 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated arson.
Arson. I knew it had to be.
Yeah.
It had to
As
be.
soon as I heard the word murder,
Yeah.
I figured he must have set the place on fire for profit.
The elder fireman's name. I apologize for not having this on hand. It was a hectic day. I'll tell you about it later. The elder fireman, the veteran, was Stephen Mashinsky, and the rookie was James Dickman. And firefighter Dickman, like I said, left behind a wife and 2 kids. And what makes it even worse, and yeah, a little bit of inner hatred is going to come out. The guy's a fucking raghead.
Guy that set fire to the building?
Yeah. Ray Abu Arab.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably from a certain ethnic background, yeah.
He's definitely not Irish.
Nicely done. We had to break it.
Yeah.
We had to break it down. Yeah.
Mandy, thank you so much for. It's bad news, but thank you for the information because it is important, especially to me, because now I know who the asshole is that allegedly killed my brothers, because he isn't
As
guilty
yet.
Yes.
Innocent until proven guilty is the way it's supposed to work in this country.
Yeah. The other thing.
Yes.
The reason why I might seem a little unprepared tonight, and not having the names of the firefighters that were killed is evidence of that. We had to take our shepherds to an emergency vet visit today.
Both of them?
Huh?
Both of them?
Both of them. It seems that Thursday night, early Friday morning, they ate about half of a bottle of ibuprofen. And
I don't know what that does to putties.
that is, in sufficient quantity, it is fatal. Affecting particularly the liver and the kidneys.
Sure, okay.
Same thing in humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there was some evidence of I'm not going to say damage, because the vet doesn't seem to think there's going to be any lasting effects, but there was evidence of toxicity as a result in their blood work. But they They seem to be doing fine. They've been puking a lot. Their stomachs are.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Get it out.
Not so good for.
Good word.
But they seem to be doing fine. They're eating, they're drinking, they're acting completely normal, which is a matter of point of view.
Normal for them.
Normal for them, yes.
Normal for them.
It was hysterical. We're sitting in the exam room, me and Bobby, the two dogs, and Lexi, and we're just kind of hanging out waiting for the blood work to come back. They have their own lab in our vet.
Sure.
And the doctor comes in, and immediately the dogs go ballistic. You know, because there's someone coming in.
A new person, oh boy.
No, it wasn't like Layla. It was get him.
Food.
And the doctor, I mean, he turned as white as his lab coat.
He should be used to that.
And he said, "Excuse me while I go change my pants."
Okay. Shepherds are a little bit different when they're...
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. But they seem to be doing fine. The doctor does not think there's going to be any lasting permanent effects. Thank God.
They need to stop eating stuff like
They
that.
oh my. They eat if we leave soap on the lower soap tray in the bathtub.
Don't eat the soap.
They eat the fucking soap.
They must be so clean on the inside.
Inside and out.
They eat. You ever seen a dog fart a soap bubble? Anyway, they eat anything that doesn't eat them first.
No, I've never watched them that close.
Neither have I, come to think of it.
I've heard.
We need to talk about you, John. That shit.
John's
Anyhow, you're kind of weird. Anyway. So buddies are okay.
Yeah, they are. They seem to be okay. In fact, it's actually Molly's liver enzymes were slightly above normal, but not enough to cause alarm. The vet says just bring her back in a couple weeks, or I'm sorry, in a couple months, and we'll run the test again to see if it's returned to normal.
Yeah, make sure there's no damage.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you got there?
No.
All right.
Thanks again, Mandy. Oh, one more thing.
Go for it.
Jack.
Jack.
Jack! Hi, Jack!
Asked about if Daryl has partaken of honey wild turkey.
I have heard of it.
I have heard of it too, but
I don't think I've ever had honey wild turkey, but that doesn't mean I won't try it.
As soon as I find it, I'll let you know. Oh, my shit.
See, my problem is I have expensive taste, but...
Wild turkey honey brand is the
I
product.
don't have the pocketbook to go...
Wine taste on a beer budget?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Wine isn't that expensive. I know where you're going with this, but...
As you can tell, folks, we're easily amused.
I spent many a stoned evenings watching Jimi Hendrix dancing in the middle of a flame of a match.
You had some good shit.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, if I'd known you was home all this week, I'd have come and got you and drug you to the mountains.
Wasn't supposed to. The only reason I've been home this weekend is because, once again, my truck decided to give me the middle finger, and...
I thought we covered this already.
Not on there, not on here. So, but...
I wonder if Obama had his fingers...
Actually, when you called, I laid it out to you.
Yeah.
Now, it's still dead. I'm still not going to work this coming Monday, because we have not figured out what the hell's wrong with it yet. The batteries are shot. It's gonna need 4 batteries. But even that, it's not getting any fuel to the engine. I pulled the air cleaner out of the damn thing, it was firing ether right down its throat. It'll run on ether, but it's not
It's
getting
not
any
drawing
fuel.
any fuel.
No. Now, we changed both fuel filters that are on this truck, it takes two, and there was ice in the bottom of each one of those fuel filters. So shitty fuel, water in the fuel, got into there, collected in the bottom, froze up. Okay, we got that taken care of. It's still not drawing a prime. Either that, or there's a relay that we haven't found yet that trips the fuel pump, and it might not be tripping. There's no fuse or anything in the normal fuse block. We gotta go hunting for it, and I don't have the slightest clue where to work.
That relay, it's more like in cars.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reset button, and it's usually found inside the glove box.
It's a different animal.
Oh, I know it's a different animal,
Yeah.
but
No, we went through every fuse that is in the fuse panel. The fuse panel is about yay big, and along with all the relays, there's about 8 to 10 relays down across the bottom. There's a panel there, got to be about 50 fuses that activate everything in that truck, give or take. All the fuses are good. It could be a case of where a wire leading to the setup is corroded due to all the salt that we've been running through in the highways. We just couldn't find it. I had a 600 amp starter charger hooked to the batteries, and the battery system from another truck throwing its juice directly to the starter in order to get the thing turn over and to provide enough power so we wouldn't ether lock it or anything, and just could not get it to run. It's still sitting out there, and I honestly don't know when or if I'm going back to work, because if we can't figure out if I can't get that thing started and moved to a shop where they can work on it, it's not going to get worked on. I've got my friends out there in SBville, my buddy Bill and Mikey Pop, and between the two of them, they brainstormed it all day yesterday, and everything they tried. Brought a torpedo heater out and was heating up everything underneath, swapped out the fuel fillers, was shooting ether right down its throat, all that power going to it, it will not run. And I don't know what we've missed or what we can't find, but by 4:45 we had to call in on Friday and said, are you going to work? Can't get the truck started, so they had to cover my load again. My boss has got 2 paychecks waiting for me because I haven't seen them, and I have to track him down. Now, we do have a backup truck. Unfortunately, he was driving it last week because his truck was in the shop and getting inspected. Now, the only way we can get this to work is he's got to find somebody that'll come down, drive the backup truck down here, drop it off, we swap out by pulling my truck out from under the trailer, hook up, and then my truck still has to be towed someplace to get worked on. We don't have enough bodies. There's not enough people to get it all done. I really don't know what we're going to do. So, and he seems to think, oh, it's just probably just, lines are probably still just frozen up. Just go ahead and let it thaw out. It should start it. Dude, we were melting ice off the roof of my truck. They scorched my license plate, all right?
Today was basically the first day that the temperature got above freezing in a long time.
Yeah.
But that would mean that you would have a frozen fuel, which is possible. You have a frozen fuel line all the way back.
Well, see, that's what we were thinking about. It's treated fuel, and I had full tanks. So the only thing I can think of is one of the places where the fuel line dipped. There might have been a block of ice right in there, which means it must have got a hold of some really shitty fuel. Because the fuel ain't gelled. We were pumping it out of my tanks to use the torpedo heater.
Well, you gotta get it somewhere.
I got 250 gallons sitting there. We had more than enough. And the fuel looked fine. It's not getting from the tanks to the engine. Now, whether the lines are frozen or the fuel pump is not working, we don't know. We ran out of time. So,
Are you going out and work on it tomorrow?
I'm gonna try and go out tomorrow and see what I can do, but if I don't have any help out there as far as the batteries and, the jump starting is concerned, it won't turn over. I still have, 4 dead batteries. So, I don't know what's gonna happen. So, I'm still working on that one, but I don't know. Fortunately, I've got enough money in the bank to hold me out until it, and if all else fails, I'll just have the boss mail me my paychecks until he tells me what the hell he's going to do with his truck.
Now, what he could do is bring his truck down and then call somebody to pick him up.
Well, the problem being, he lives in New York. It's a 2-hour drive from here. That's where all this starts to come into play.
Well, if he needs a ride to go to New York, I'll drive him. I ain't been up there in the communist state of New York.
Oh, that's not pretty good. We're like I said, I don't know what he's thinking or what he expected me to do. He said, I didn't hear from him all week, and when I finally talked to him on Friday, I said, oh, have you got it started yet? What the hell do you mean if I got it started yet? I told you on Sunday night, Monday morning. I was out of ideas. I've been waiting for you to tell me what you were going to do. Nothing. Okay, what are you up to?
Experimenting.
Experimenting?
Experimenting?
Experimenting.
That's what I thought.
Experimenting with what, wild turkey or Yukon Jack?
Let's drop a wild turkey, all right? And it's been frustrating. The hell it is, I kept thinking that, well, eventually, he's going to tell me he's got a tow truck or something on the way to get this thing done. Nothing.
Well,
So this whole week,
that would make sense to me, because it's costing him money every day it sits there.
yeah, we've lost a whole week's work out of the truck.
Yeah.
And not a cool thing. So I really don't know.
What, they say they can't hear us?
No, for when
He's got something else he got in mind.
when Justin comes on.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't tell me about him.
You told me.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah. I thought sure he talked to you. Didn't you talk to him?
No.
No, I did not. Okay, folks listening and watching on Ustream, we're having a guest come on in the second hour via Skype, and I'm going to try this to see if it works, so you guys can continue watching us on the Squirrel Cam and be able to listen to the conversation.
Yeah, that's been the biggest problem, because the monitor in back of us is not, making the trip when it comes to the microphone over on the Squirrel Cam.
So if the sound doesn't sound right to you, let us know immediately.
No doubt.
All right.
Sounds better. Good. Okay, we're going to try this. Now, like I said, we have a guest coming on via Skype tonight. Yeah, I probably should sit down.
There you go.
We have a guest coming on via Skype tonight. Viewers on the Squirrel Cam usually can't hear, but with my little
This should work.
ghetto engineering going on up there, they should be able to hear us just fine. So.
Let's hope this works. Justin Dillon from Open Carry PA is going to be on. We hadn't heard from him a long time. We did find out that he'd won his court case, won it very, very handily. And the interesting part about it is
Unanimously.
that thing too. And we finally found out why he hadn't been in contact with us. Dude almost died.
Twice.
Yeah. Not cool, Justin. Not cool. I mean, I can understand if you're trying to avoid us, but that's kind of extreme. All right. We got about 10 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's get the PBS out of the way so that when Justin comes up, we can go right to it. This is part of the program we don't like to do, but we're going to do it anyway.
Hell!
Where the hell are you?
We were getting an echo.
Not that bad.
Yeah. Sounds like a can. Anyway.
I don't have any problem with it, do you?
Well,
you can't hear.
What? It's very mild. It's very mild backbeat.
All right. Well, he decided to
Backbeat.
he decided not to sing. So
No, I was distracted because I was waiting to see how bad it was going to be.
That was actually kind of interesting.
Oh, jeez. It is feeding back just a little tiny bit.
Well, we can give the new toy. I'll think of all kinds of sound effects I can pull off now.
We could possibly live with it here as long as it's not doing it to them.
We'll find out. That's where we break out the begging bowl. As you heard at the top of the hour, we're still dealing with expenses trying to get this broadcast set up back up to full power. If anybody knows of electronic wholesalers inside the continental United States, so we don't have to order this crap from overseas, because every time we do, it gets fried. And we got one chip that was purchased domestically, and that's our last one, and we're hoping it works. But barring that, it's going to take some time to build up, because there is an all-in-one setup that we can purchase. That's also an import, isn't it?
I imagine it might be, but
Yeah.
but if it's bought from a domestic shipper, we may not have any problem with that.
I don't.
Or we
I
have
don't
it
think
shipped to
is.
somebody else, then to us.
See, you're still going with the conspiracy. I don't believe that. I believe that this is what they do to everything coming in like that.
The only thing with that is if they did do that, then nothing would work.
Nothing at all.
Unless, of course, the boxes are marked according to the electronic equipment do not x-ray.
Well, that should have been what the chips were. But be that as it may.
Yeah, be that as it may.
We could use some help as far as the fundage, what we've already put into it. I think between everybody here in this room and those who have been working on it, we probably got, if you include the time and everything, we probably got close to $1,500.
The time of, well, I know in parts we've replaced about $1,200 also.
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
we're being frustrated by the stuff we order in that is supposed to work is fried by the time we get it. And it's a little ridiculous, but we're still working on that. We can always use a little bit of help. Anything can help.
In fact, when I go up to the house tonight, I'll take a couple of those chips with me, and I'll call the guy on Monday and tell him what these chip numbers are.
To find out see if he's got a source here domestically. The only rally we've got coming up is going to be the April 19th rally, and we'll have more details for you when we get a little bit closer to the date. I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to Hagen Smith.
No, I haven't, but I did talk to somebody else down in Mercer County, and who's acquainted with Hagen, and he and I both are going to be trying to get a hold of him
Okay.
next week.
If we're going to have an indoor venue, we need to line up at least one. Hagen will be able to do what he does and put on a good presentation by himself. But barring that, we might want to look into maybe some backup speakers as well. But the April 19th rally, the true Patriots Day, I don't know if we're going to get any more rallies after that because of the speed with which the Gestapo is starting to crack down on dissent. It's getting a little ridiculous, but this might turn out to be an act of open defiance. Remember, all Braveheart rallies are open carry rallies. Be sensible about it, and do remember that we're talking mid-April in Crawford County. Son of a bitch!
Dress accordingly.
Hold on here. Now, I do want to put out another all call here, folks. We've been talking about the 3%ers for quite some time, and this past weekend, while perusing the sites, we came across a 3%er who's in trouble. This gentleman lives in Oklahoma. As soon as I pull up the information, I'll let you know a little more about it. Back in 2011, his right shoulder was destroyed by a shotgun blast. He's had it repaired, but he cannot work anymore. It took him until just recently for the government to finally say, okay, yeah, you're disabled, but he's still not seeing any money from it. He sold off everything he has in order to keep a roof over his head, but he was within maybe days of being kicked out of his home. And he was trying to keep the roof over his head because his wife works $9 an hour. It just ain't enough to cover the bills, everything they've had. The landlord he's got has been very decent, but he's behind in his rent by about $1,600. Now, this is one of, as most of us are, we don't ask for help unless our backs are to the wall. Now, this guy's back was to the wall. And it started out with a call to the 3 percenters. And we are community. And went over to a lady that's known as Angel, to anybody in the 3%. I'll be giving out their blog sites here in a little bit. And she put out a call. It was picked up by a guy, Mr. Ken Lane, goes by the hand of Wirecutter, over at Knuckle Dragging My Life Away. That's his blog site. That's where I found out about it. Gentleman put out a call and has got a GoFundMe site. And once the call got out to the 3%, within 24 hours, when I made my donation, we had close to $7,000. And
That's amazing.
yeah. I mentioned that I was going to talk about it here tonight, and I put out a call to my Twitter followers, see what we can do. And thanks to a couple of them, I've seen where a couple of my followers have already made donations, and I thank you guys for that. But I'd like to put out a call here now, and if I can keep this phone going just a little. I'll tell you what, we're getting ready to take a break here at the top of the hour. When we come back, if Justin isn't right there, I'll give you the GoFundMe site for this guy.
We still can anyway, it's
Okay.
important enough.
He's the guy's a patriot. He's a 3%er, and a guy that does not like to ask for help. And let's see if we can max this out. The GoFundMe site was, the dollar amount we'll put up was $10,000, which is less than what he needs. But we did probably about 2/3 of that in the first 30 hours, maybe. Let's see if we can push over the top. Let's get it done by this weekend. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here. We'll come back with that site for you here in a little bit. You're listening to Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio. Braveheart, 88.7 FM. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Your mic off?
Okay, guys on Ustream, is it, are you hearing us okay? Is it coming through all right? We want you to be able to hear Skype. Oh.
Let me get this set up here, I'll be right back. I don't know why I don't have a disclaimer on my stick. It drives me nuts. Short trip.
I will probably not be here for the February 15th show. That's about 2 weeks from now. Yeah. Daryl's birthday is that weekend, and he's wanting me to come up to the camp with Scott and partake in some wild turkey.
Good. It sounds good. Excellent.
Are they actually, I don't hear anything coming across.
Because I turned it down because of fucking YouTube rules,
Ah,
copyright rules.
I'm so tired of that crap.
I am too, but you know,
There'll be a way around it. Okay.
there is. Get written permission from every single artist that we have to use our stuff.
Okay, technically we're into the third day now. $7,385.
Nice.
I'm still working on it.
Need a beer?
I still got ice. I got
Yeah,
some
I'll
ice
take
beer here.
I'll take one now.
Ice beer here.
Stop it.
Get your ice beer here.
No, I knew what he was doing. I'd have to kick him in the balls repeatedly for it. All right. My right shoulder was destroyed in September of 2012. I've not been able to work, and even though I went to court last October and was found disabled, I haven't received any financial aid to date. I put in a metal replacement, but there's no muscle to attach to allow movement, and let me get some more here. There we go. Pain aches constantly. Wife only makes $9 an hour, and even though my landlord is a good man, I currently owe him $1,600 in current and back rent. His electric was supposed to be shut off February 3rd.
Doesn't sound like that's gonna happen now,
I
thankfully.
think that's taken care of, because he had to choose between that or gas, and heating the home won. Okay, I've just been served notice, I have to go to court on February 28th for $6,800 over medical bills he can't pay. And says, and of course, I owe the IRS over $6,000 and the state over $1,000, but they can hold their breath. That's a 3%er. I've already sold anything I ever had worth anything, so there's nothing left for them to take.
Yeah. You know, the thing of it is, Social Security, before they give you a dime, they want you destitute.
Tell me about it.
They want you destitute. I'm not talking about retirement, I'm talking about disability.
I'm talking about disability.
Oh,
I've been the route.
oh, okay.
I've been the route.
Yeah, they want you,
Multiple heart bypass, hello?
they want you destitute before they'll do anything. Which is really sad.
And before the heart bypass, 5 herniated discs in the lower back,
You gotta stop doing shit like that, okay?
you know? So, you know,
Just so you know.
Stop it.
I'm
Just stop it.
just typical hard-working average American who
Yeah.
just doesn't want to give up.
Stubborn Pollock is what you are.
Yeah. Don't believe the government should be giving me handouts. I'll help a hand, yes, but not a handout. And only because I paid taxes to get it.
Beer and cookies are starting to roll back on me. They should keep knocking them down there.
Okay, he's ready. I said we gotta finish up the segment from the last hour, then we'll bring him up.
Okay.
You want me over there or what?
Yeah, let's swap out. Let's swap out. I can do this from over there. That's how I'm using my tricorder phone.
Using his thingamabobber.
You still hate that.
Yes, I do. You have no idea how much I do. I don't like carrying a tracking device on me at all times.
That's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Burp.
There you go. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the second hour. Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio, Braveheart, 88.7 FM, here in lovely Needville, Pennsylvania, where it is 42 damn degrees outside.
It's about bloody time.
I'll give you that. Did you turn on your microphone, Matt?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Your choice.
I
I knew somebody didn't. All right, when we last left our heroes, we were talking about being heroes again. All right, hold on a second. Should have done that. Go back. There you go, biggie boy. Still gotta get my fingernails polished, because it doesn't always work when I'm working this damn thing. Okay. Once again, we were talking about a 3%er who's down on his luck. Has been hammered pretty hard, and generally does not ask for help, but 3% community is coming out strong, and we are a community. Doesn't matter if it's local, it's nationwide. And I've been trying to help to raise some fundage for this gentleman. Let's bring this up here. This is Stephen Vanderhoff. He lives in Oklahoma. Let me give you a brief rundown of what happened to him. Norman, Oklahoma, to be specific. My right shoulder was destroyed in September 2012. It was a shotgun blast. I have not been able to work, and even though I went to court last October and was found to be disabled, I have not received any financial aid to date. They put in a metal replacement, but there's no muscle to attach to allow movement, and aches constantly. His wife makes about $9 an hour, and even though his landlord is a good man, so he currently owes $1,600 in current and back rent. His electric was going to be shut off on February 3rd. 3%ers came and we managed to take care of that. He had to choose between that or gas and heating the home one. He says, I have just been served notice that I have to go to court on February 28th for $6,800 actually, over medical bills he can't pay. And of course, I owe the IRS over $6,000 and the state just over $1,000, but they can hold their breath. I've already sold anything I ever had worth anything, so there's nothing left for them to take. It's been roughly 3 days since Steve's gone and put up this GoFundMe site, which the suggestion was given to him by somebody else, and he reluctantly did it. He didn't want to do it. But once the word got out on the 3% blogs, within 3 days, we've been able to raise $7,385. He's got a goal on here of $1,000. Folks, you can donate anonymously. Everybody's got $10 they can part with. As one of our fellow bloggers, 3% bloggers, Angel, has said, a lot of pebbles can fill up a lake. Let's see if we can fill this damn lake. I've been putting it on my Twitter feed, and I'm asking you here tonight if you've got that extra 10 lying someplace. Folks, it's a couple cups of premium coffee anymore. You got it. If you can feel in your heart to help this guy out. His GoFundMe site, www.gofundme, all one word, GoFundme.com / actually, is that a forward slash? Let's leave a forward slash. My eyes without my glasses. 6JT8LG. Okay, one more time. www.gofundme.com / 6JT8LG. $10, $15, whatever you can. Let's see if we can push this up over 3 to 3. It's a concept. We take care of our own, and I think we can get this done. So, Steve, we're doing what we can for you. All right, what do we got here, guys?
Well, we have the founder of OpenCarryPA.org. .org?
Don't know if it's a .org or not.
Oh, maybe not. Anyway,
Might be.
we are going to have him on Skype momentarily to talk about his court case.
And why I haven't been gone?
Yeah.
Hey, I hear something.
Yep.
There he is.
Justin.
There he is, Justin.
Yes.
You need to not be so close-mouthed, dude. Damn, we thought just maybe it was our deodorant or something. You just weren't talking to us anymore.
No, I've just been so effing busy and then laid out in the hospital for, a month and a half. So, I mean, a lot of crap has happened.
John, you're smoking away here. What are you doing?
I'm looking for,
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the,
He's making a list, checking his life.
for our Ustream page.
Oh, okay, 'cause that's right, you're normally looking up there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, since the last time we talked to you, we've added a video component. I don't know if you're...
Yes, I've been watching you guys.
Hi!
Oh, we're sorry. We're sorry, Justin.
I'm not...
I know. I've been, secretly stalking you guys.
Can't stop stalking you. Okay, I got you.
Which is actually pretty
Well,
cool.
at least it's you, not the NSA.
Yeah.
You don't know that!
Another 10 people watching you guys.
I was yelling at Daryl, didn't quite catch that. Well, no, we were shocked and amazed when we found out that things were still in process and that you won. And it was just okay. Hadn't heard from you in so long. I figured, damn, dude ran out of money. Didn't know what was going on. Figured, and then we hear, no, he won. What? Really? Okay. Try have that.
Well,
My ice beer.
like, like Mike said, we found out through, amazingly enough, the mainstream media that you won your court case. Why don't you go back a little bit and tell us about leading up to your victory in court, as far as, well, hell, start from the beginning. We got some new listeners. They might not know what's going on. So go for it.
I'll definitely start from the beginning. Well, this all took place last year. It started back in May, when I tried to have a rally in Perry Square. Now, mind you, I have like 4 or 5 other rallies with no problems, no issues. They were an open carry rally, meaning we did display our firearms. And then in May, when we tried to get another, basically a permit, which we really didn't need, it was just out of respect, they basically gave me a really hard time. The city solicitor said that there's a park ordinance in place where I can't bring guns into the park. I told them that that's unconstitutional and it's against State Law 6120, the preemption law, and also the Pennsylvania Firearms Act. And they didn't care to listen to it. I tried many times to try to settle this before it even landed in court. They ignored my attorney, and they basically gave me the big middle finger. After that, we had a bunch of court battles, which didn't go our way because they were, of course, in the city of Erie, which that's no surprise. Then we took it all the way up to the PA Supreme Court, which was actually very interested in the case, but because it was a state issue, sent it back down to the Harrisburg State Courts, which then they wanted to hear it as an e-bunk hearing, which is extremely rare, because they wanted an e-bunk hearing. We didn't ask for one, they wanted one. Basically, that means that the entire court hears the case and not one judge decides on it. It will be a panel of 7 judges. So after several months of it being there, on January 7th of this year, I didn't find out because I was still in the hospital. On January 7th, my attorney finds out that we won unanimously. All 7 judges basically went our direction and said that it was unconstitutional, and also reversed the city's decision on a injunction. The city of Erie did not think at the time that I had any suspicion of irreparable harm, which actually did happen with the citations. So the courts gave the city of Erie, basically put a permanent injunction on the city of Erie from enforcing the ordinance until the Commonwealth Court writes it up, which could take several months. The city of Erie does have like the next 5 days to appeal, which we highly doubt it because that will be back to the Supreme Court, and the odds of the Supreme Court overruling 7 state judges is basically slim to none.
Yeah.
we can't see that happening. Plus, like I said, they literally only have 5 days, because on the 6th will be the 30th day, and the case will be sealed. There will be no appealing.
Excellent.
So we're very happy about that. So now we won. We're going to be having, which I don't even know if I told you guys or even told John when I talked to him, but we will be having a victory rally to celebrate our win.
You did tell me.
When?
Okay. We will be. Are you guys still there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We will be having a victory rally on April 12th at 2 p.m. back in Perry Square. We will be open carrying one.
In your face.
Yes! Yes! Oh, you know I'm gonna be there. Oh, hell yeah.
A lot of people are going to be there. Your one favorite guy will be there. Pastor George will be making the trip back up. He will also be a guest speaker at the rally. So also on top of that, Blue from Lehigh Valley Open Carry will also be a guest speaker there. Tim Stolfert, the president of FOAC, which is Firearm Owners Against Crime, will also be a guest speaker there. Larry Pratt from the GOA, I've been in communications with him. He's very adamant that he wants to come. He just got to make sure of his schedule, but the odds are he's probably going to be there. Just, it's a 50-50. Like I said, you'll have to, check up on my page on Facebook. Unfortunately, I know a lot of you guys don't like Facebook, but...
John's on Facebook now.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm gonna rely on him.
And now, John, that you have my Facebook, I did send you an invite to my open carry page.
Yeah, I haven't been on Facebook in several days. I tend to get a little irked at it from time to time.
Yes.
Need to break, but trust me, I'll be accepting that invitation.
Okay, and then all you got to do is, once you accept that invitation, I will invite you to the event for the rally, and then you just can check up on it periodically to see who the guest speakers are. I tried to get Dan Bagudi. I can never pronounce his last name right. He was the Secret Service guy for Obama for a while, and then he quit, and he's running for governor in Maryland. He's like
Wow.
that half and half guy.
Well, that's gonna be a tough road. Maryland, as stupid as that place has been getting lately. Wow.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, because of travel and the distance, it's like 383 miles from where they are to Erie. Unfortunately, they couldn't come, even though, he likes coming to gun rallies and he's all about that.
It's a 7-hour trip if you drive straight through.
Yeah, I know. I told him I was like, whatever. I mean, trying to get these kind of people here is like, trying to pull teeth. I've tried to get Daryl Metcalf. I can't even tell you almost at every single rally I've had, and either he has to go to he's booked to a farm show, or he has to speak at an old folks home, or he has, just doing stupid things, and it's just like sometimes I wonder about these people because, they say they're all for these rights and they do everything that they can, but, I can write a House bill too, and it will just sit there for years, maybe not do a dang thing, and then you got one person like myself that stood up and said, no, thank you, I'm not taking this beating alone, and started making a stand, and of course then other people stood right next to me, which was awesome, and I love that support, but I mean, to go all the way and fight it in court and then win, and just have the city of Erie go, what just happened, it makes me feel
See,
good about it.
It's like when the rally occurred. When the rally occurred, it was we were getting a lot of feedback, like all right, definitely a Lexington Green moment here.
Yeah.
It was because this was most of the places where these rallies have been done. I don't need to tell you. It's okay, no problem. Come on in. Some people might be a little nervous, but other than that, go right ahead, do what you got to do. This one was saying, no, you shall not, and we said, ha, 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 watch us, and stroll right on in. This was, staring them down,
like
and they backed down.
I said, in my blog
Beautiful
post,
thing.
this wasn't just a mere act of civil disobedience. This was us telling the powers that be, we don't care about your so-called laws. We're doing it.
Exactly.
What are you going to do about it? And we found out. They backed down.
Well, they had to, because they had they had the color of law, but they had no legal standing. We did. And that was the key. We knew the law. They thought intimidation was going to be sufficient.
Yeah.
Maybe in the past, not so much anymore. People have been intimidated as much as they're going to. Now it's time for some pushback. And Justin, it is a beautiful thing to see. Now, when we didn't hear from you for the longest time, we thought that, one, either our deodorant had worn off, or because we had no idea. You had some health issues. Tell everybody about that one, if you would.
Last year, basically, just before the ending of it, on about Christmas Eve, I started feeling ill, just kind of like a headache, high fever. I was drinking tea with, of course, a little bit of whiskey in it to try to kind of...
Hot toddy, the best thing on the planet.
Certainly, clean you right up.
Trying to help me out, which kind of did for a few days. But unfortunately, about December 28th, I felt extremely ill, throwing up and stuff. I'm not going to go into extreme details.
Sure.
I don't want people to start throwing up and stuff. But just having a really good time at my house. I had a high fever, which then I had to go to the emergency room because I couldn't break it. They gave me some good medication. It broke. They sent me back home with some antibiotics. Which then the following day actually 2 days later on the 30th, I basically was having extreme difficulties breathing. I had a temperature of 104.2.
Oh, man.
And climbing.
That's getting into seizure territory there, brother.
Yeah.
Too high, bro.
And of course, unfortunately, a couple of times, it gets pretty brutal for me from this point. The emergent care at the time, that's who our ambulance service is emergent care.
I'm sorry.
Came up, and the one guy was just a dick. Just straight up like, oh, what are they going to do for a headache? Da-da-da, just really like kind of bashing me, and I'm not in the mood for this.
Well, let me stop you right there, okay, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking as an experienced emergency medical personality,
Lack of a better term.
Lack of a better term.
Yes, we'll work on that.
99% of our calls on the EMS side, I'll take one too, sir,
Certainly.
is
No, thank you.
what we call Band-Aid runs.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, I get you.
Okay, which translated is, I need a ride somewhere, you're going to take me because you have to, because I called for help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, around this time of year, one of our biggest natures, by nature I mean the type of call, what's going on, is flu-like symptoms. Okay, which turns out to be basically the flu that they didn't need an ambulance for.
No.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so, not to totally defend the guy, but you were probably his, 15th call for this kind of thing that day. Just know that it gets frustrating to a point. It gets to a point where you just don't want to do it anymore. Fuck you, get in a car, drive yourself. Okay? But now, understand, I'm not, like I said, I'm not completely defending the guy. Nobody knew how much trouble you were in at that point. Not even you. Okay?
Yeah, I definitely didn't. And it was just, And then when he gets to the hospital, he's still just going at it. And, you know, doing it around my family, my mom was an LPN, so she knew kind of that I'm in some deep trouble. My body's gray. My eyes are rolling in the back of the head. My blood pressure's sky high. I can't breathe. I don't look like I could drive or get into
You look
a
like,
car.
you look like you were dead.
Yeah, basically, I was a walking zombie.
I've seen that look. I know what that looks like.
Been there.
Yeah, and I honestly, I don't, not to bash EMTs at all, I know that they have a rough job and it can be very stressful, and of course the Band-Aid runs I can totally understand. But the whole thing is when you're in that job, you got to act professional each and every time. Whatever is going on with me is basically my business.
Absolutely right.
You tell the medical place, and then you go back to work or go home or clock out, whatever you do after you drop me off. Everybody has a bad day, but I don't go to my boss and tell him to go fuck himself and
I do.
and then go back and wash my
Well,
dishes.
John, you're unique in that respect. You can get away with it.
And they expect it.
Well, this is true.
Exactly.
Anyway, no, just, like I said, I'm in no way defending the guy. He should have been more professional, but just try to understand, you know, look at it from, well, my point of view. You're just
Yeah.
you're just another case that probably could have either driven or walked yourself to the hospital if you needed to go that bad at all.
You should have puked on him.
Yeah.
That would
That would have worked.
That would have worked.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I puked as much as possible. I just was dry heaving at the time. I couldn't throw up anything out of my mouth if I tried hard
Yeah,
enough.
and you know,
We'll work on that.
we're you know, we're saying this in the vein of that nobody, including yourself, knew how much trouble you were in at
No
that
doubt.
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next time you get that sick, Justin, make sure you...
Don't get that sick again.
Make
Yeah,
sure-
we're not. I definitely don't want this.
But if you do, make sure you have a pan beside you, so the next time you get a creep like that, you can throw the pan at him.
See?
Probably-
See?
probably
Okay.
will.
Anyway, okay,
Yeah.
so you were
Right on.
so you were taken to the hospital. Pick it up from there, brother.
Okay, well, it gets even worse of the scenario. Well, I get to the hospital, of course, they wheel me into the ER for whatever reason. I'm not even in a bed or a room waiting to get checked out. No, they wheel me into the ER, and a nurse, you know, checks me out, and at that time my temperature went up. It was 104.7 and climbing. I was at that time having so difficulty of breathing, I was almost stopped breathing. Well, they were like, well, we're going to put him in the waiting room. My mom at the time said, you've got to be kidding me. Absolutely not. You need to admit him now. He's seriously sick. There's something going on. Well, then they decided to listen, and they started to wheel me back into the CAT scan room to check my lungs, and I basically stopped breathing when they wheeled me back. I was immediately intubated at that time, basically putting tubes in my mouth to help me breathe, because I stopped breathing on myself. I couldn't remember much. I was extremely doped up at this time, and was basically in an induced coma for a while.
Yep.
For a few days. It was
You have to
that
be-
long.
You have to be unconscious in order to be intubated.
Yes, I was. I went out before they even did the CAT scan. Once I started breathing, once the machine started breathing for me, they got me through the CAT scan and found that my
Are we recording?
right lung was 100% full of liquid. My left lung was 98% and still filling. So they had to go in and start getting some of the liquid out of my lungs, because even the machine was struggling on keeping air in my lungs because it was so full. At this time, I'm in ICU in critical condition. It took about several weeks, and then finally, after they took me, well, I coded twice.
For those that don't know, code means he stopped breathing and his heart stopped beating.
Yeah.
He died twice.
He's dead.
Twice. The first time when I was on the intubator, my heart just stopped. So I code blued, They got me back, increased the oxygen and kept me going. And then I'll say about a week and a half later, they said, well, it looks like my lungs are doing fine. Let's start weaning them off the intubator. They started weaning me off. For 2 days I was doing good. On the second day later that day, I coded again, which then they rushed in, performed whatever they had to, and they got me back, intubated me the second time, which then they waited 2 weeks, and then they finally took me off. I was breathing on my own. I woke up, and then unfortunately, because I was there so long, laying in bed, not moving, basically the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I lost all ability to walk. Like, I had to basically learn how to walk all over again. Like, I had to learn how to, like, pull up my pants, how to learn to, like, wash myself, do everything like everybody does on a daily basis. It was a long road on that part, which I'm still to this day recovering. Unfortunately, it gets even worse. They put me in a private room for a few days, kind of just monitoring me. Because my legs were so weak and I couldn't do a lot of daily activities, I had to go to physical training. Well, unfortunately for me and my insurance, and no, it's not Obamacare, I had only a few choices to go, and it's like old folks' homes that have physical training. Now, I'm only 27, going to be 28 later this year, but for a 27-year-old to live in an old folks' home with patients that have MS or other issues that will make a 27-year-old healthy person go extremely crazy is not the greatest place or greatest experience I've ever had. Even though physical training was amazing and those people did a really good job, but now...
They are good.
Yes, they are very good.
But look at the bright side, dude. You won your court case.
That's the good part. I mean, I get a little bit more good news, which is coming up, but here's the worst part of the whole thing. Well, while I was in physical training, mind you, I left the hospital on January 15th around like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. I was at Abington Crest, the old folks home up there near the mall, and the only thing is that on Friday, which is like literally 2 days later, Friday I started having weird pain in my left leg. I told them that I think I may have maybe a blood clot or something in there, but I wanted to get checked out. Well, after, some bickering about it and stuff like that, they finally called the on-call doctor. He scheduled for a sonogram that night. She came in, looked at my left leg. I could see from the expression on her face that it doesn't look good. She said she'll give the report to the nurse at the front desk. Literally 10 seconds after she left the room, my nurse comes in and tells me that I have really bad news. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, your entire left leg is fully clotted.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah, my whole left leg was fully clotted. I couldn't tell you how I felt at that time other than I thought I was going to have a heart attack from being extremely, paranoid, about to have a panic attack, and just extremely pissed that I just cannot recover. So basically, they called the EMS to come back and get me and transfer me back to Hammett. So I get back to Hammett, they put me right to a room, they're hooking me up to a bunch of things, starting to do blood work. And here's another funny part. The ER doctor comes in and says, well, why are you here? Typically for blood clots, we just give people blood thinners and send them on their way, which is protocol.
Yeah.
Which I still don't understand. They need to change that, because if they would have sent me on my way with blood thinners, I probably would not be talking to you right now, because it was actually worse than just my leg. So when he was talking about that, I told him that I just left Hammett literally 2 days ago. And he didn't know that I was just there. And I told him, well, I was on blood thinners the whole time, which was heparin that they shoot in your stomach.
Oh, this
You're in
is
the
great.
hospital,
He
so
did
you
tell me
know
about
on
this.
the blood.
For those that don't know, again, little medical knowledge here. Daryl's nodding his head. Yeah, he knows. Heparin is a liquid that's introduced intravenously that is a blood thinner. Okay, there are things called a heparin lock, which is an IV that isn't a complete IV, but they start the route and then they close it off, and the syringe and the little bit of tubing is filled with heparin to keep your blood from clotting and blocking that path. Okay, heparin is a very powerful blood thinner. Go ahead, Justin.
Okay, and at that time I had one of the doctors, because he knew I was coming in there, I guess he works with Appleton Crest. He took on my case. Like I said, he's an extremely knowledgeable doctor. He's very good at what he does. He took on my case and basically put a stop to the nonsense in the ER. He ordered for an immediate CAT scan with dye. They inject you with it feels extremely warm.
Yeah, it does. It makes you feel like you pissed your pants. I've been there and done that.
Yeah, basically what that does is just, it goes through your veins and they can see blockages, or they can see certain liquids that they can't really make out on a CAT scan system. Well, at that time, they found that I had, some of the clots from my leg had broken off and made their way to my lungs, which were really big clots.
That's a death sentence. Normally.
Yeah, that's death all by itself. So they were like, immediately put me in a private room, which was still like an ICU room, but it was a private room, which I was getting care like all day, every day. Now, at the time, they put me on the heparin IV to help me thin out my blood. Now, at that time, I still said that I think I have something going on with the heparin. Like, heparin is doing something to me. Well, they started to figure that out really quickly. The first blood work that they took from me, which I'm going to tell you right now, this was the worst thing, I think, other than the blood clots and the double pneumonia. They got to stab you every 2 hours while you're on blood thinners to monitor your blood, which, one, I don't really like getting poked, especially like 300 times in a week. But they got the first blood work, and my platelets fell off the face of the earth. Like, I almost had no platelets left in my body. And they immediately took off the heparin. They put me on something called, oh my God. It's another blood thinner, and it's killing me to think of the name. It starts with an A, and I just cannot think of it. It's a very non-common blood thinner. But they put me on that. My platelets came back from the dead, and it started working. And of course, I felt like I was on an episode of House, because not only did I have one doctor working my case, but I had 7 doctors, 5 specialists, and a team of other people. They're calling different hospitals. They're trying to check out, how does a 27-year-old that was on blood thinners have an entire left leg full of blood clots, plus blood clots in his lungs, when he was on heparin. They could not figure this out. I never had a history of it. My family hasn't had a history of it. It's not genetic for me. They pulled out tons of blood from me trying to figure out where this is coming from. Well, they figured this out, which was even more of a headache for me, which I'm still glad that they figured it out. But it's called HIT, H-I-T, heparin-induced thrombosis, which is extremely rare.
Yep.
There is only one documented medical case that they know of that this has happened to. Basically what happened, while they're giving me heparin in the hospital, heparin actually made me clot.
Yeah.
And then kept my body from removing these clots.
Yep.
So they were just, and because of how heparin worked and how the clots were working, it made it sticky. So it was, the clot just kept growing, and just got way out of hand
Now there's-
really quickly.
Now there's 2 documented cases.
Yeah, now I'm...
Congratulations, you're in the medical books now.
Yes, I am, yes.
Your place in history is assured.
Exactly,
let's-
one for winning my court case and the other one for having heparin-induced thrombosis.
Hey,
So,
hey, Justin, let's not do this again anytime in the near future, okay?
I don't want to do this.
Knock this shit off. You gotta stay healthy, you got other things to do.
You're famous enough. Knock it off.
I know, I'm just trying to outdo everybody. I'm just figured, hey, why not?
There are other means, hula hoop, bungee jump, you know what, no, knock it off.
I just figured, why not have, double pneumonia, and then just to kick it off, to end it with a little cherry on top, let's just have some blood clots and take blood thinners for a year.
Okay, so fast forward to this very second.
Yes.
What is your prognosis? How are you feeling? What's going on now?
Well, now, I just see my doctor. I'm going to have to still go through some physical therapy. My upper body, I don't have a lot of strength in my upper body because I had some pinched nerves thanks to a phlebotomist who takes blood. She pinched a nerve in my hand while trying to get some blood, and it made me kind of tense up and then shot a bunch of pain through my body, my upper body. So I couldn't, bend my arm a certain way. I couldn't, extend it out.
Well, like we say here at Braveheart Radio, go big or stay home.
No shit.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Dude, you're
like
right.
I said, it was just one thing after another. I am walking around. I went to the car show today with my dad and my brother, which
Sweet.
was really good so I can get some exercise. It really didn't, overdo it or anything. I walk slow now, but hopefully that will pick up. So...
Yeah, you got a rally coming up, you gotta get yourself in shape, dude.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, the physical therapy is going to help. Now, the sucky part on everything, and it was kind of good news and bad news rolled up into one. The good news is when I started to come to, I needed, now mind you, back in, just before Christmas, I landed a job, which I was kind of happy about because I'm I was broke as shit, I was down in my luck, and needed a job. I just was looking so hard for a year and a half, just couldn't find anything, or half the things were temporary, super part-time, 12 hours a week. I can't survive with that. Well, finally I get a job, go through orientation, did everything I had to do. They're the first of the year you can start working and we get you, well, no, I was actually laid out in ICU in critical care. So I called them up and was I don't know what you guys want me to do. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get back. But I don't know. And he's like, well, do you still want to work here? And I said, yes. And he goes, well, all I need you to do is just put yourself on a leave of absence and we'll just see you when you get better.
Nice.
That was extremely well because unfortunately if people are not from Pennsylvania, then they don't know that Pennsylvania is a will work state. They can fire you and hire you for basically any reason that they feel.
Yep.
If you sneeze the wrong way, they can fire you, and that's it. You can't sue them, nothing. You can't take them to court. It's whatever they want to do. So I was kind of happy about that, but of course, now it's been, 3 weeks since the last time I talked to them. I still have to wait until physical therapy does their assessment on me to see when I possibly can get back to work or if I can do any light duty, which I don't know what the hell light duty will be at where I will be working. But other than that, like I said, the rally should be fine. That's a couple months away. That's why I pushed it that far. Plus, I really didn't want to look at any more snow, and I didn't want it to be minus 35 degrees outside.
Well, now, hold on, you are still talking mid-April in it'll be Erie County, but, you run the whole risk, you got a risk of the whole gamut here. You could have 3 feet of snow on the ground, or you could be out there playing golf in your shirt sleeves. You don't know. You don't know.
And we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, well, this actually kind of gets even a little better on this part. So when I was talking to Larry Pratt, he said, well, did you have a plan B in case it snows or it rains hard? I said, not really. typically I don't have a plan B of location. So I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to look for one this time. And so I'm thinking, where's a really close place where I can assemble that don't have rules about guns and be close? Well, I thought of the Erie Convention Center. Now, of course, I
That's
looked
expensive,
through all
bro.
I looked through all their procedures, their rules. I didn't see anything about firearms. So
They hold gun shows there.
Exactly. Well, of course, they're unloaded and have like little things
Indeed.
through the barrel.
Indeed.
So I was like, I don't know how the hell they will respond to me saying, hey, what about an open carry rally? Now, I left a little comment literally within like 10 seconds. I get a phone call back from the GM of the convention center. So I'm thinking, oh, God, this is going to end up great. Well, to my surprise, he was like, I kind of laughed about it because just of the nature. I told him I didn't want to fill out a whole application just to be denied because of the nature of what my rallies entail. Yes, they're open carry. People do carry, and they are loaded. We don't carry non-loaded guns. That'd be like carrying a brick. I mean...
Yeah, why bother?
So the guy was very awesome. He was like, you know what, we're extremely open-minded. And he basically said that it seems fine to him. Of course, he has to make sure with the board and everything, make sure all the legal crap and mumbo-jumbo is taken care of. But he was like, I don't see you breaking any laws. And I told him I'm not. I said it's private property. They basically run it and own it, and they can decide yes or no. That's their right. And he was like, I have no problem with it. He's like, you know, this is going to be completely new to us. And, you know, we're working on some things there. Unfortunately, there is some out-of-pocket expenses to it, which are a little bit, you know, a couple $100, but, you know, with what they offer and what they, you know, everything, I'm fine with everything. You know, so I do kind of have a backup plan. I have a meeting with them on, Tuesday, and then talk to them about everything and go from there. I don't know if I'm going to use it or anything. I'm just hoping it's a clear day, so I save myself a couple $100. So I really don't want to come out of pocket to have a gun rally. But yeah, other than that, that's about it.
Well, keep us posted.
You have survived.
Yeah.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly.
Although I do not recommend it as a weight loss program, or as... I know other people who've done similar things. This Goomba over here.
Hell, all I did was get 7 teeth pulled.
Yeah, I don't recommend that
And
either.
I gained it all back.
Oh, well, which is supposed to be your natural
Time to get
weight.
more teeth pulled.
I got a
Ow!
Mike, give me that pair of lineman's pliers. We'll take it out.
I'm not sticking around to hear that. No. No, Justin, I can relate to your time in Stir because you know this goes back a few years, but my wrapping a motorcycle around a tree at over 60 mile an hour, I spent 3 months in a hospital flat on my back, and I remembered what that was like. So I can understand you losing your mind, being especially when you got transferred to a place where there's nobody there even remotely close to your own age.
And I don't know anything about what he's talking about.
Oh no, you wouldn't. No, hell no.
Although I do know
Dumbass.
that when I got shot up full of heparin, my left leg swelled up about 3 times its size because there was a ruptured blood vessel, and they thought they were going to have to operate.
When you said you had all clotted up, my first thought was, did you forget to tell us that you don't have a leg anymore? I mean, that's kind of something that you should have probably started out with.
The root of my problem too, Justin, was blood clots to both legs at the same time. And as you say, one's bad enough. 2 is 99.9% fatal, and if you survive that, you can survive a nuclear blast.
We're just basically we're dealing with a bunch of people here who are just freaking stubborn to say no.
They're quick.
You, him, I mean, just,
We ain't quitting just 'cause you don't like giving us our rights.
Nope. So, like I said, don't do this no more. Okay?
I definitely don't plan on it, but, you know.
You've done pre-disastered yourself. Don't do no more.
Yeah, take about a 50 or 60-year vacation.
That'll work.
Yep.
I think I deserve like a 60-year vacation. As long as you guys are going to fund it, I will definitely take that vacation.
I'm in the same boat you are, Justin. My
No comprende English.
no got no pesos here.
Exactly. Nobody has pesos. The other good kind of news is, of course, the NRA has stepped up again, have
Amazing.
donated another $5,000 to the case. Of course, I'm still like 13,000 in the hole. Which, you know, it is whatever. I don't know how and how I'm going to pay that just yet. But I'm sure eventually at some point in time in my life that I will start slowly making some payments on that. But yeah, that's been of course on my mind. Josh has been very understanding. He knew from like day one I was like you know, in the poorhouse. So, you know, he still took the case. You know, there was still some funding from the NRA. If it wasn't for them, you know, even though people have their own feelings and opinions about them, you know, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have gotten my case to where it went. I would have probably not won my case.
Herein lies the whole thing with the NRA. Up until what you're talking about right now, we were stunned they would even pay any attention because they have a history of backpedaling and compromising. And when we first found out that they actually kicked in, we were quite frankly stunned. I'm pleased to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it continues. I hope this is the way they're going to continue. But it is still, when they do kick in, I'm very pleased to see it, but it still surprises us.
Yeah.
They've been full, like you said, too many compromises. That's part of the reason why we're in the boat that we're in.
But to see them actually step up and kick in, it's great to see. They've got a lot to make up for, but this does help. So, you know, I got my biggest problem with the NRA is they were there in name only and didn't do much. Okay, John, you give me a 3-minute sign?
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting ready to wrap it up here, so. John, do what you gotta do.
Real quick, Justin, did you get the picture I sent you?
Yes, thank you very much. That actually was really cool. I kind of liked it, especially like the one with the ears up. I've always been a German Shepherd fan, so I really did enjoy seeing them.
Yeah, they're well, let's just say they're very unique individuals. They don't like strangers too much, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's always a very good thing. They are a very, very, very protective kind of dog, and yeah, they don't let down their owners. That's very for sure.
Yeah, nobody comes into that house in their right mind if they're not welcome.
I probably wouldn't even attempt that kind of stupidity. I at least have one brain cell left. So even with that one brain cell, it's the smartest brain cell I have, and he will still tell me absolutely not. I mean, you can if you want to, but you're going to suffer the consequences of doing so.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? You know, I'm just not down right now of getting torn to pieces. So I'm going to pass on that. I'd rather take the double pneumonia and blood clots again. Maybe. I mean, that's a fucking line I don't think I ever want to cross. I maybe want to get attacked by the dogs. That's just saying. Because,
Okay.
I mean, I can heal for some wounds. I'd rather have my arm ripped off. I can sew it back on, and it may hurt, and I'll be on some Vicodins for a while. But other than that,
Nothing wrong with that.
What's wrong with the Vikings?
there's nothing. I'm on them right now. So.
All right, we're right at the top of the hour, dude. Real quick, when's the rally again?
It'll be April 12th at 2 p.m. in Perry Square in Erie, PA, right down on between 6th and 7th and State Street. You cannot miss it. And there's two parks right across from each other. And if anybody's trying to look me up, you can find me on Facebook /Open Carry Pennsylvania, spell it all out, one word. Or you can find us on our actual website at opencarrypennsylvania.com.
All right, dude.
Excellent, excellent.
Very good to hear from you again. I'm glad that, well, quite frankly...
Glad to know you're alive, yeah,
Yeah.
because like I said, I thought it was our deodorant that was chasing you off.
And we will definitely be in touch, and, oh, by the way, we gonna be there.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Bring the war wagon, I would like it.
And don't forget about ours the following week.
Yeah, there's the one the week after, we're having a April 19th rally here in Meadville, so by all
Okay.
means, come on down for that one.
All right, Justin, thank you very much. We're gonna cut you loose, and we'll be in touch, brother.
Talk to you in a bit.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys.
Bye.
All right, we have hit the top of the hour. We're gonna take a short break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Braveheart, Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio. We'll be right back.
Yep. Yes, beer is good. I have to. You got everything queued up?
Yeah, oh yeah, everything's running.
Trying to think where we want to go here for the next hour.
We got some news.
Yeah, we got breaking the news. I had a couple of commentary, but either one of them could hold. So let's pick up the news stories. Where are they?
Update on Stephen. I don't know who this came from. It's the name will show up there.
Gotcha.
$7,405 raised by 124 people in 3 days.
Yep.
Fucking awesome!
Yep.
Okay, where'd they go?
We got things buried in here. John's got a tab on top of them. And
See if these are it.
we need to get the old stories off the damn table. You used to sign those out and then file them away.
Okay, they're not here.
Okay, then they're over there then.
Everything is queued up. We're good to go.
Boo.
I'll tell you what, this cold weather has stiffened me up so bad. Oh my God. I can barely function at times.
I know exactly what you mean. I was, with Justin talking about all the stuff he was going through. I know about, having to relearn how to do shit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like I said, when I went into the hospital with my motorcycle accident, I was 185. I came out of there at 130.
Holy, you at 185. You at 130?
I was at 185 and in damn good shape. I was lifting and running marathons.
Wow.
Well, maybe not full marathon, 10Ks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hold that thought because I can't hold mine.
All right. Okay. So we'll do the kids stuff. I don't know if we really...
Okay, if he's done with the smokage,
I think so. Getting cold?
well, just a little chill.
Okay.
I don't want to turn the heaters down, so we'll break the cross breeze. Now my right leg is just about back to normal again, but boy, that left one is screwed up.
Okay, good. Apparently putting the monitor up there works pretty well for hearing anybody on Skype. Good deal. Get in here. What would you have done if that had broke?
I didn't throw it hard enough.
Doesn't matter, that's not that strong a glass. Tap on that.
That's not a tempered glass.
That's just kind of there for the hell of it. For the hell of it? Yeah.
For the hell of it.
Yeah,
That's to keep the birds and the bugs and the...
I ain't never smelt the smelt like that smelt.
Okay, whatever.
Smelt's a kind of a fish. Yes, that is yours. I must reload.
Okay. I don't need any more right now.
Carol?
No,
I'm trying to think here, what do we want to do?
Let's move on to
What
the...
do we want to do? I kinda like the NASA thing. Congress for not standing up to Obama is not news.
Thanks, John, that worked very well, hearing Justin on the monitor.
Yep.
Problem solved!
For the time being.
Yeah, that,
Something else will fuck up the next.
that was my ghetto fix. Pretty soon, sometime, when the weather breaks,
I know you're
we're gonna be hardwiring every fucking
I
thing.
know you're gonna get medieval on this.
And whatever I can is going wireless.
Alright. I'm gonna feel so out of place. The wires are comforting to me.
I'm gonna,
It will
if
unclog quite a bit of your...
that has to involve cranial implants for all three of us for microphones, that's
Fuck
what it's
that.
gonna involve.
I will not.
Hey, remember what we talked about?
I'm not playing.
I'm not either.
There will be no artificial shit implanted in me ever. Ever. Ever.
I've got all the implants
Ever?
that I'm going to have.
It ain't happening, motherfucker. I'll put a bullet in my head. That's the only implant I'm getting. Alright. Okay, the NASA story I want to do, because that was kind of funny. Lunches seized from kids in debt at Salt Lake City Elementary.
Yeah, isn't that?
Wait a minute. Okay, this is more than what I thought.
They owed money for meal tickets, and
So they took the lunches away from them.
Yeah, and the way to make it worse, they threw them in the trash.
Yeah, they fucking threw away
All
the
right, yeah.
perfectly good food.
We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I might get to that one. I did want to do a commentary on the police state.
You know what we haven't done for a while?
What's that?
What does a police state look like?
Well, I really don't have a story. This is more like a commentary.
Okay,
So that really isn't going to apply.
okay. You can,
And we're back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to the Floyd Hour. Pennsylvania American Patriot Radio, Braveheart. 88.7 FM, lovely Louisville, Pennsylvania, where the temperature is going up.
it's 44 damn degrees now.
It are. Sure as hell is.
It's about blowing.
Get any onion?
Not now.
Okay, cool.
Bring it up later, we'll all vote on it.
No, I ain't voting on it. I'll cast an absentee ballot. How's that? I don't want to be here when he brings it up again.
I would say, I'll vote, I'll cast a vote of no confidence.
I was going to say present. Not much of a present to me. Gotta put a bow on the damn thing anyway. Well, now, let's think. Yeah, I'm gonna need that. Let's put it this way. I hope I don't need that. Especially tonight. Spiraling down, and I don't know why.
Time for an energy drink.
I don't want to take that one this late into the show. It'll keep me up all damn night.
You're gonna be up all night anyway, you usually are.
Yeah. All right.
We got a whole hour to go, bro.
The hell it is. This will take 15 to 20 minutes to kick in. Maybe. All right. Pink lemonade or grape?
Oh, definitely grape.
All right.
Oh, I think pink lemonade match colored your eyes.
Okay. Now I'll wait for it to come up. Give us a delay.
Say something.
Something.
Something. Nobody.
Oh, hold on. We got some delay here. Okay.
Something.
There we go. Fuck. Okay. The hell with you on having a grape. Yeah. And besides, this is the extra strength one. This is the 5-hour energy that's good.
Now, do you crash after that?
That's the great thing about this. There isn't any. Because it's not sugar. You crash because of the sugar high. Not when you drink in a regular energy drink. This shit ain't got any sugar in it. It's 4 calories. It's all B vitamin and caffeine. It'll kick you up. Exactly. And when you get to a certain level, you suddenly realize, wow, I'm not tired anymore. And then you start bouncing like a tiger. Like I did. Well, no, you saw me last time.
Yeah.
I went from being,
Oh, yeah.
to also being my normal jovial cherubic self.
Okay, you lost me at cherubic. You had me at normal, but you lost me at cherubic.
You're just being mean.
No, being truthful.
Energize.
Normally, you pour that into your beer.
I ain't got enough beer to dilute this.
Great beer.
Don't go, ugh.
Don't go what?
Don't, ugh.
I can't wait to see that. Okay. Because it's fucking funny. The way you did it. Oh, my God.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, we're not gonna get a goddamn thing done if you would shut the hell up. Alright, I gotta wash down the energy drink with beer.
What?
No. Let's see here. We do want to get a little bit of news done here, although that last hour was plenty of news. I think I was in...
Layla's out.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering what the hell that was all about, too.
Yeah.
I was going to see a puppy burst through the door, but you got a latch, which is a good damn idea. All right.
Mother burned some trash today, and Layla's been going down investigating.
Oh, she's a good puppy. I mean, she was in here early when we first let her out, but like you said, the news we did in the last hour, that boy's got to stay the hell away from hospitals. They're full of sick people.
They do, no lie.
And it just, you have a better chance of getting up in the hospital than you do anywhere else. It seems like most of his problems happened after he got to the hospital. Stay the hell out of those places, will you? Shit, you got a rally to put up. All right. Now, I got to start with this one because this one's just got me curious as hell. I'll get pissed off here in a minute, but I got to start with this one. $350 million NASA project completed, then mothballed because of lack of need. It's just, really? All right, earmarks. Here we go.
Pork.
Yeah. Constructed for tests that were canceled in 2010. All right, I gotta find out when they start construction on this bitch. Because if the tests were canceled in 2010 and they start construction later on, somebody's ass needs to be arrested. Okay, from the Washington Times, I'm sorry. Let's see. Go ahead.
No, I was actually literally just clearing my throat.
Okay, did it look like you were getting ready to say something?
No.
on top of it?
Nope.
Cool. All right. NASA's supposed to build machines that launch into space, not structures that stay grounded on Earth and send spending into the stratosphere. But that's exactly what's happening this year as the National Aeronautics and Space Administration completed the $350 million rocket engine testing A3 tower at its research facility in Mississippi. Mississippi, yeah.
Mississippi. Mississippi.
I've been down there too long. Okay, well, Mississippi for those of you
Yeah.
north. There's just one problem. The Space Exploration Agency doesn't want it. Well, shit. What, are we going to move it to someplace? All right. Instead, NASA is forced to complete the project, which now won't be put to use because of legislation handed down from Congress and what critics say is a classic example of earmarking. All right, this is interesting here. Because the Constellation program was canceled in 2010, the A3's unique testing capabilities will not be needed, and the stand will be mothballed upon completion. It's still not done! Wait a minute. This one says it is. All right, hang on. Okay, the Inspector General said this month. Bloomberg News. Bloomberg. What an asshole he is, but we'll get into that at a later date. which first reported the issue this week, called the structure an example of how U.S. lawmakers thwart efforts to cut costs and eliminate government waste, even as they criticize agencies for failing to do so. Platcon Kell Black. Continue. NASA does not expect to use the tower after construction, but is compelled by legislation from Senator Roger F. Wicker, a Mississippi Republican, you douche, you should know better, who wants to ensure the project is completed.
Even though it's not going to be used.
For failing to heed government officials and forcing wasteful spending on taxpayers, Mr. Wicker wins this week's Golden Hammer, a distinction given by Washington Times for examples of fiscal waste, fraud, and abuse. Well, I didn't know the Washington Times did this. It's the Washington Compost. The Washington Post that is the douchebag newspaper there. Okay, that's right. I keep forgetting. We continue.
They all look the same.
Not necessarily. There are a couple of good ones out there. Example, you've got let's see, was it the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, which is, I'm trying to remember what the other paper is because I don't read it. It's the bigger one.
Post-Gazette.
The Post-Gazette. Yeah, that's the lefty-leaning liberal, fish wrap. But the Tribune Review is actually the right-wing one, which is very cool. Much better paper, and not just because of my political bias. Read the two of them side by side on the same day and make your own determination. It's a no-brainer. We continue. Ironically, Congress says it has been operating under a self-imposed ban on earmarks, pet projects that funnel money back to lawmakers' home districts, often at taxpayers' expense. But recent examples show members are still finding ways around the self-imposed prohibition. Mr. Wicker said the testing tower would help maintain the research center's place at the forefront of U.S. space exploration. Forget the fact that they don't fucking need it anymore. Stennis Space Center is the nation's premier rocket engine testing facility, a statement from the senator said. It is a magnet for public and private research investment because of infrastructure projects like the A3 test stand. But they don't need it anymore, douche! They've moved on to bigger and better things. They don't need that particular... In 2010, I authorized an amendment to require the completion of that particular project, ensuring the Stennis facility is prepared for ever-changing technologies and demands. Even as little as I know about, I'm no rocket scientist, but even I know technology moves on. This is designed for an outdated rocket system. They've moved on to other things. It's not needed anymore. But we've got to do something to keep jobs. You're an ass. All right. The Washington Times has reported on similar examples of Congress forcing unwanted spending on agencies and taxpayers. Last year, for example, Representative Jim Jordan, an Ohio Republican, I'm seeing a disturbing trend here, earned the Golden Hammer for forcing the Army to buy $500 million worth of Abrams tanks, even though military leaders said they were not needed. The military don't want them. Well, you're going to make them anyway.
I'll take one.
The surplus. Once they're finished building, they're surplus from the time they come off the assembly line. That's messed up. All right. Can't give one of their own. You know, even I don't like the idea of you having one of those.
I'll go cruising around the diamond.
That's what I'm afraid of. This is a man who... No. I'm not even going to finish explaining it. No.
Run away.
Yeah, you're going to see the bottom of my feet, motherfucker. All right.
If you can, through the dust, I think.
Exactly. Well, it's snowing out there and I'm still kicking up dust. I'm running fast.
Yeah?
Yeah. The A3 testing tower will stand 300 feet and be able to withstand 1 million pounds of thrust. If they had anything to use on it, which they don't. The massive steel structure is designed to test how rocket engines operate at altitudes of up to 100,000 feet by creating a vacuum within the testing chamber to simulate the upper reaches of the atmosphere. Interesting. Testing is a key component in evaluating how the propulsion systems will perform in outer space. When construction on the structure began in May of 2007, NASA was preparing to work on the Ares series of rockets that would prepare a Constellation spacecraft to the Moon and eventually to Mars. Since the program was canceled in 2010, there is little reason to operate the tower. The problem is not uncommon for the space agency investigators said. Investors? Yeah, probably them too. Test stands for large rocket propulsion systems cost hundreds of millions of dollars to build or refurbish, and may sit idle for many years after the programs for which they were built end. Think of the whole Saturn V project and all the gantries that were still left over afterwards.
Some of them,
And the transporters.
some of those were, well, the transporters
That was just an example.
were, yeah, they were refitted for the space shuttle. It's the same transporters
Yeah.
that carried the Saturn V.
Sure.
Carried the space shuttle.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
just need some retrofitting and modification, certainly. Because there's nothing else on the Earth that's even remotely like them.
No.
But, okay. When the final tally is calculated, the Inspector General said the cost of the facility will be $350 million, though it noted some estimates place it at more than $400 million. Go with the higher amount, it's always higher. Ms. Strickler, the info babe here at NASA, estimated that it will cost another $900,000 annually to maintain the structure while it is waiting for a purpose.
I've got that purpose.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We'll chew on this here in a minute. NASA spokesman Allard Butel? What country are you from, fucker? All right. Said the agency is maintaining a balance between making sure it has the skills needed for future projects while ensuring good management of its infrastructure in a time of tight budget constraints. This is an ongoing effort to make sure we have the right workforce and capabilities. We have to be prepared for future exploration. This thing was designed specifically for a specific system. Any modification would cost more cash if you knew the project was done. I don't know. Okay. Executive Vice President of the National Taxpayers Union told Bloomberg News that the agency should have been allowed to stop construction on the tower. Quote, current federal spending trends are not sustainable. Big surprise there, somebody actually got it right. And if NASA can make a relatively painless contribution to deficit reduction by shutting down an unwanted program, why not let it happen? He said, it's not rocket science, at least fiscally. I knew somebody had to go there.
Yeah.
Somebody had to go there. All right, before you put out your thought, once again, let's explain what this thing is designed to do. Because you said you got a use for it, I want to make sure you're actually correct, because we'll write the damn thing up and make a proposal. Let's see. The A3 testing tower will stand 300 feet, be able to withstand 1 million pounds of thrust, designed to test how rocket engines operate at altitudes of up to 100,000 feet by creating a vacuum within the testing chamber to simulate the upper reaches of the atmosphere. Something that you can create a vacuum and still maintain its integrity under 1 million pounds of thrust. That's kind of impressive. It is. And for $350 million?
But what are you gonna do?
I understand that. I understand that. I'm working through the technology itself. And unfortunately, there's no longer a use for it.
Hey,
Unless
technology.
something comes along where they can retrofit it like they do with the crawlers.
Sure.
And put it to use on, for another rocket system. But with them mothballing the whole idea of going to hell. We got China with a rover on the damn moon right now. We don't make our own, we retired the shuttle system, so anytime we need to put guides in space, we gotta call up the Ruskies. How fucked up is that? I don't like wasting money like this, but I got mixed emotions about this. We never should have let our space capabilities go down the shitter. Because now we're relying on our enemies. I don't like it. I do not like it. Darryl, what do you got?
Well, you can use that as a perpetual jobs plan. Or
That's what it is already.
Yeah, the thing was scrapped in 2010, and they're just now finishing it in 2014, so...
They started in 2007.
Yeah.
How long does it take to build this fucker?
So, it's 7 years in construction. So, we'll do a jobs plan. We'll remodel that building to turn it into a office building, and take another 7 years to do that, and spend another $350 million. No, I'm sorry, it'll probably be about $250 billion by then,
No doubt.
by the time we do that.
At the current exchange, right?
Yeah, and then after they get it done, they'll decide, well, we don't need it as an office building, we'll convert it back to a rocket lab.
Or maybe a water park.
Theme park and...
Yeah, think about it. It can take up to, 1 million pounds of thrust. I mean, that's one hell of a water park.
It's more than I can generate.
Are you sure? I don't know. You've come awfully damned close from time to time.
But
Like I said,
the bad part of it is...
I'm pissed off at the fact that we're wasting the cash, but this story also pisses me off because of how we've allowed our space capabilities to go to shit. Nobody had a backup plan for when the shuttles were retired. The computers on board, and John, you probably know this, the computers on board were...
I believe that was mine.
Taking it down to a dull moo.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a message. Oh, okay.
We interrupted your currently scheduled programming
To check our smartphone.
We're having technical difficulties here, folks. The smartphones beat the...
Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
Bullshit! I will if I want. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this.
So, anyway, the point is, with all the stuff that needs to be,
There it is. 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 All right. Get your finger out of your nose. You don't know where it's been.
yeah, I do. I put it there.
No. No.
Leave it.
That was close. That was close.
Leave it.
Yeah, that was close. Bad me. Anyhow,
But
bring it on.
with all these so-called bridges that are in disrepair in this country, and the fact that we spent how many $1 trillion in one bailout to try and fix the infrastructure, which did nothing.
Putting America back to work.
Yeah, putting America back to work.
Shovel ready?
which they went out and they took...
That's Obamacare, because Grandma's shovel ready.
They took a machine and they cut grooves in the pavement in the center so you would know when you cross the center. The vibration.
Oh,
You know.
maybe I better drift over here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's how I get home.
Yeah.
I keep it between the rumble strips.
Yeah.
I gotta thank you. What? Ain't that what they're for?
That's what I use it for.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm laughing because I agree.
So,
That brings a completely squirrel story to my mind, but we'll let it go here for the time being.
but the point
Bring
is,
it on.
the waste, the absolute waste.
Oh, indeed.
And it's not just this one project. And,
Oh,
It's
let's
endemic.
talk about waste. I just discovered something
He just discovered something.
brand new
Uh-oh.
Brand new.
on my way home from work one day.
Brand new waste.
I work in the city of Erie.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I am too.
What a problem that is.
I never go unarmed. But
It's a war zone.
that's my point. Interstate 79 begins in the city of Erie.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That is the northern extent of that particular highway,
Yes, it is.
okay? Near the mall, or at the Mill Creek Mall.
Mill Creek Mall, right.
There are, I don't know, 50 or 60 hotels by now, okay?
That's only a slight exaggeration. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Interstate 79 is not even a mile and a half old. And there is a fucking sign in the southbound lane that points out all of the hotels that are at the next exit.
I'm not seeing the problem here.
The problem is, Interstate 79 is, like I said, a mile and a half old.
Long. You said mile and a half old.
Yeah, I know, I said old on purpose.
Okay.
It's a mile and a half into itself at that point. And there's a sign there that points out all the hotels. Now, on the northbound side,
So you're speaking as a resident. You're speaking as a resident. For anybody that's coming into the area from out of town.
but that would be from southbound,
And that's
or from the south, northbound. Why have a sign? Golly gee, Martha, I sure am glad they got all these hotels. We've been on this highway for a mile and a half. I'm tired.
You don't travel anywhere, so you don't get it. I travel for a living, so I can tell you, that's necessary. That is definitely necessary. Coming from the airport, you're coming out of from Erie International. If you're doing any visiting in the city, you probably know how to get to where you're going there, but you don't know where you're going to stay. That sign coming out of the city makes perfect sense. You got some choices here. That is for tourists, not locals. That's absolutely, anybody who's visiting that city as a tourist has a pretty good idea where they're going as far as their destination is concerned. That's advertising for the businesses at that intersection. That is strictly for the tourist aspect of it. I understand it completely. My biggest problem with large cities like that is they don't give me enough information. I want, especially on local radios, when they're telling you about a traffic backup, and they'll tell you the street intersection on the interstate highway. I'm not from around here. Give me a mile marker. That way I know, okay, where am I? I'm heading this way. East or westbound, say, let's use I-94 coming out of Detroit. We have a multi-car accident, and they'll say it's I-94 and say Livernois Avenue. If you're not from the area and you don't know where that is, you could drive right into it. And now you're in the backup for the next 45 minutes because it's a fatality. Almost always is. Give me a mile marker so I can route my ass around that damn thing. My problem is they don't give me enough information. I got no problem with that sign. But that sign showing that is strictly for the tourist aspect. For people coming off the side roads, if you're traveling the interstate, it's one thing. If you're traveling U.S. highways, 20, or right along the lake shore,
7 or 5.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people do that because they want to stay the hell off the interstates. Or they've done the winery thing. They're coming in from New York State and they're coming down around. That sign there is for the tourists to say, okay, everything we want is pretty much here. Let's get off here. And if one person puts it up, you know that every other hotel is going to want to put their name on that damn sign because they don't want their competition to have an unfair advantage. That's why there's so much of them up there. I really don't have a problem with that sign.
It just struck me as really bizarre that they're posting, they spent the money to post a nice big fancy sign
Yeah.
that says lodging this exit, but it's a mile and a half into the interstate.
Yeah.
It struck me weird, and I still say, at least in some respect, it's a waste of money.
We'll just agree to disagree on that one.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, you'll find that on the northbound lane.
On the northbound lane, it would make more sense.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Oh, that's fine.
That is my
But I don't
point.
mind it on the southbound lane either, because if you're Ma and Pa Kettle heading northbound, oh, we missed the exit. Let's turn around.
I know how to take care of that, John.
What?
We'll just move the sign down a little ways and put "you just passed."
Sucks to be you missed it.
That's good. That's good.
The next hotel, 150 miles.
And when you think about it, pretty much.
We are assholes.
You know something? That's a black bag job. We need to move that fucking sign in the middle of the night. A couple of
I'm on it!
a couple of cordless drills with some serious torque and the proper nut drivers on the end of them. Start moving the damn sign down the road.
You
You just missed. And at the bottom in small print, we'll have a nylon banner printed up. Sucks to be you. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. All right. Oh, we
don't even have to do this to be assholes. Coming up with it is...
But you're pretty good at it. Glimpses into our mindset.
Yeah.
Like I've
I
always,
don't get to do shit like that anymore. I used to be a practical joker in high school.
like I've always said, we're all assholes, just so we're figuring out.
And I'm working on being the biggest asshole of we all. Anyhow, again, okay, the NASA story, we could do a whole hour on NASA, but we'll wait for them to give us more fodder, more grist for the mill, as it were.
God knows it's coming.
Oh, no shit. All right, let's get into some shit that should piss a lot of people off. And I didn't realize what this was. I thought this was more of Moo Shell, but and her little edicts from on high, which I don't know where in the hell she ever got any fucking authority.
Oh, she's the
But,
president. I'm sorry.
No, that was...
Why don't you control your douchebag husband? I know that the two of you are pretty much sleeping. Those two are doing the Bill and Hillary right now. They are not sleeping in the same room. The rumors are spreading like wildfire, especially after what Barry did over at Mandela's funeral.
Yeah,
While he's chatting up that blonde from Denmark. Oh, the evil eye he was getting from Michelle. I looked at that. Dude, she gonna cut you.
She gonna bleed you.
Real quiet. Bitch, she's gonna cut you.
He's gonna be called Obama Bobbitt.
That's not bad.
I kind of like that. Maybe we need to suggest that to her. Okay. Well, she already has this.
Hey, he's got
Yeah.
a job when he gets out of the White House. He could be in movies. Just like...
No.
You didn't really want me to go there.
No,
There's
That's
some
official,
places
that's
that
official.
we won't even go, and that's not many. That's one of them.
Anyhow. I just threw from her mouth a little bit. All right. This one comes to us from Salt Lake City, from the Salt Lake Tribune. Lunches seized from kids in debt at Salt Lake City Elementary. Okay, like I said, when I first read this headline, I wasn't quite sure what I was dealing with here. This is about to piss me right the fuck off. All right. Up to 40 kids at, I can't pronounce it, UINTAH? That's not Utah, that's something else.
UINTAH.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's pronounced.
Utah?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it.
Sounds
It's
good.
it's a Salt Lake City elementary school. Picked up their lunches Tuesday, then watched as the meals were taken and thrown away because of outstanding balances on their accounts. A move that shocked and angered parents.
As it should have.
No shit. Somebody would have got throat punched. That's enough for me to go to war. All right. The whole school lunch thing, we can discuss that from now until hell freezes over. But if you let the kids pick up their lunch, they're not responsible for that. Their parents are supposed to be paying the damn bills. All right? That's one thing. But to let the kid pick up the lunch, great. They're going to get something to eat. And then to take it away from them and throw it away? That's bullshit on multiple levels. Well, let's talk about this here. It was pretty traumatic and humiliating, said Erica Lukes, whose 11-year-old daughter had her cafeteria lunch taken from her as she stood in line Tuesday at the school. Let's see. Luke says, as far as she knew, she was all paid up. I think it's despicable, she said. These are young children that shouldn't be punished or humiliated for something the parents obviously need to clear up. Again. Jason Olson, a Salt Lake City district spokesman, said that the district's child nutrition department became aware that the school had a large number of students who owed money for lunches. As a result, the child nutrition manager visited the school and decided to withhold lunches to deal with the issue. That's not the way you do it, you fuck.
Nutrition manager?
Who, they appoint these bureaucrats to handle the school lunches. I imagine we've got something similar here, it's probably called something else. What do you got?
No, I'm saving it for you.
Okay. Cafeteria workers weren't able to see which children owed money until they had already received the lunches. Computer database, maybe? Probably, cashier. The workers then took those lunches from the students and threw them away, because once food is served to one student, it can't be served to another. Really? All right.
It just,
Let's
it
purchase-
just makes no sense
There's no common
whatsoever.
sense involved in this. There's no common sense involved in this whatsoever. Let's see. Children whose lunches were taken were given milk and fruit instead.
So you waste more money. Throw
Also-
away perfectly good food.
And then give them stuff that, milk, which is in a carton, it's sealed, fruit, it's in exception of an apple, which is, apples have
Apple,
probably been
banana.
washed. Yeah, well, a banana's gotta be peeled, so it's got a wrapper on it. The apple, you bite through the wrapper, but it's been washed. All right. So I'm trying to figure out their rationale for not giving the, served cooked food on a tray that has not been touched yet. I said, okay, this is yours. I mean, let me finish the article before I fucking lose it. All right. Olson said school officials told the district that their staffers typically tell students about any balances as they go through the lunch line and send home notifications to parents each week. The district attempted to contact parents with balances via phone Monday and Tuesday, but weren't able to reach them all before the child nutrition manager, okay, I can see the person we need to focus on here, decided to take away the students' lunches. Something's not working, and that's what the school and child nutrition department are going to work on together. Bill, you need to fire this cunt. All right? He said there's no plan to use the same tactic at other district schools, so why was this one singled out? Because the bureaucrat showed up to take a look at it herself and decided to, I am the law. Okay, Judge Dredd. This can be easily prevented. We need to make sure proper notification goes out to the parents and they have time to put money in the accounts. But Olson said he would not describe the tactic as a mistake. No, it's a fucking outrage is what it is.
No.
If students were humiliated and upset, that's very unfortunate and not what we wanted to happen. You didn't think it through. You will comply, you will do as you are told. Government indoctrination
Always
centers.
do the two-step afterwards.
Government indoctrination centers. It's all about, I am the authority, this is what you'll do, you have no recourse, deal with it.
You know, in some
Bitch, you'd end
states,
up in a goddamn trash
in
compactor.
some states, that would be child abuse, denying children.
Oh, wait a minute, no. That's not abuse, because these people obviously know better than we do.
Oh, screw them and the wet
Yeah.
rag they came in on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't say the horse.
He didn't, but
I
I'm
know.
trying to figure out where wet rag came from.
I have no idea, that's another Darrylism. I've been dealing with him for so long that it's just, okay, that's a new invention, we'll probably not ever hear it again.
He was probably ragging it, if you remember that term.
Yeah, but...
Hold on.
It doesn't fit.
Actually, it does. Because you really have to be,
It's a stretch.
I'm gonna go there, you gotta be ragging it to take the food away from a child that is not expecting it.
Further evidence that you cannot trust something that bleeds for a week and does not die.
Exactly correct. I don't know how we managed to do that. I was not...
Where did that come from?
Hold on. Remember, I got an article here from Fred Reed that did not insult women this time around, and somehow we managed to still get back to the whole concept. I don't know how in the hell we managed that one. God, we are going to be accused of being sexist barbarians forever. You know something? I'm good with that.
I can live with that.
We continue.
Are you sure?
I don't know yet. We got 20 minutes, so let me get through this here. All right. Easy, John.
I'm sorry.
You okay?
Yeah! Great, how are you?
I'm doing just fine. I can't read because my eyes are squinting from reading. Ah, fuck, all right. The Post adds, the Post does add, it adds it right here.
It did?
We understand the feelings of upset parents and students who say this was an embarrassing and humiliating situation. Why'd you do it? We again apologize. Once again, the liberal mindset. An apology covers everything.
It's easier to apologize than ask permission.
Well, see, I've always gone by that. I actually go by that myself. It is always better to ask forgiveness than it is for permission, especially in a tactical situation. There's also another word term for it. Unless otherwise directed, this is what I'm going to do. Take off and do it. Now, unless somebody calls you and rescinds your orders, fuck you, this is what I'm going to do. You want to stop me? You call me, rescind my orders, and cut new ones. If you're laying out a plan, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You set it down there and take off, usually before your chain of command is able to get a hold of it, read it. So you're off doing the other shit. That's where permission and
Okay.
forgiveness comes in. Sure, the job is already done. Why did you do it? I left orders right here. I told you I was going to do that. Well, I never got. Not my problem, man. Had shit to do. So it's a similar concept here. Let's see. Olson said it is standard in the district to give kids fruit and milk in lieu of lunch if they don't have the money to pay for lunch. Okay, well, it is unclear how the school has been handling such situations before this week. Attempts to reach the principal were unsuccessful. Covered your ass, right, pal? Or this school's principal, how much you want to bet it's a woman? Any takers? Any takers on that bet? Didn't think so. All right. Olson said the district encourages parents to use parents is more than one. Plural. Parents is plural. All right. To use it. I know it's unusual to have more than one parent in this day and age. However, parents is.
Even weirder if they're different sexes.
Oh, now you're just being ridiculous.
Yeah, you're being a sexist, a racist, and a...
Homophobe. All right. Fuck. Screw it, we're done. All right, I'm done with that story. I'm not doing any more of that story. We'll get to it another day. All right?
We covered the points here.
Yeah, we pretty much did. That's why I'm bailing out now. But I got probably another 2 paragraphs in that story. What's the point? Yeah, there it is.
But,
There it is.
remember, we did that once before.
Just keep that finger.
Let me tell you.
Your allergies are actually kicking in.
Shit! It was only 15 minutes ago, now it kicks in? Bummer. All right.
Anyway.
What do we want to do? Yeah, make it quick.
Anyway, this all could have been avoided. Okay, number one, why is it that person is still working there? I mean,
Because
she should have fired.
everybody who's involved agreed with her.
The parents would have just drug her out and tarred and feathered her.
The parents don't have any say in the matter because they've advocated their authority.
Second of all, it could have all been covered by one thing, the old-fashioned meal ticket. Give everybody a meal ticket, okay, and then when they went in,
I can remember that. Yeah.
You got it punched.
You had the paper card when you went in to get your lunch.
Right.
You bought it at the beginning of the week,
Right.
and you go, and it's paper punched, and you move on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can remember when I was doing that. Now, everybody thumbprint scans or swipes their student ID, which is an honest-to-God credit card with a
Bar on it.
with various different pieces of ID on it, retina scans, shit like that. Fuck.
So.
I'm really getting to hate this world.
Yeah, and
The
they
energy
had,
drink is definitely kicking in because I'm getting warm.
and we had in Pennsylvania they do anyway, a reduced lunch and a free lunch for those who didn't have the money,
I can remember.
okay?
In order
And
to
all
get
you
in
did
order to
was-
get the free lunch, you had to fill out certain forms. Same thing with the reduced lunch. It was based on your income.
Right,
And unfortunately, they had different colored meal tickets to determine which was which. And it was kind of a social thing. Oh, you're one of them poor people. You get your lunch for free. My dad's paying for you.
and
That
the only
sort of
thing, the only thing that they really needed to change, and that was just make sure all the tickets were the same color, and the teacher had the list of the names of who got the reduced lunch and who got the other.
You know that as well as I do.
But it's because of the educated stupidity that's out there.
That was by design, though. They wanted that class separation, they wanted the stigma,
Yeah.
they wanted the humiliation. It's all part of the indoctrination and
Exactly.
breaking down the kids' independence. It's the same thing when you go into the military. They have to break down your civilian life and make you part of the machine.
So that you will be effective as that machine.
Understood, but still, that's always been one of my problems with military training, because they do break down your ability to think on your own,
And here's,
unless you go to special forces where they want you to think on your own.
and here's the failure of that system, is after they are done with you, and done having you go through combat or whatever, they don't take you out and, I don't want to call it
Deprogram you.
brainwash you, but deprogram you.
Yeah,
They
that's
took
a good
6
word
months-
for it.
They took 6 months to program you into that mindset, they should at least take 6 months to get you off that mindset. So-
There you did it again. You stapled these together in the wrong order. I can do this.
Well, pull it apart,
I'm gonna have to go from 2 to 4, then back to 3.
we'll just unstaple it.
All right, and then I'll lose the damn pages altogether. All right. Do we want to do this from the teacher bitching at Obama,
I say we
or
save that.
yeah, because we can do this anytime.
There's a lot of material there.
Yeah, there is quite a bit, and I do want to do the one thing from got another one from Fred Reed.
No, right.
The one that you know how he likes to. He's the one I was normally saying that we were going to get in trouble for with the females in the audience. I'm surprised we have any anymore. Let's see.
Are you still there,
Sandra,
Sandy
Mandy,
and Mandy?
yeah, the two angry chicks. Shit. They're gonna kill us. Run! Anyway, this one, once again, and Daryl, you're probably gonna be able to relate to a lot of this. All right? Because your childhood it seems to be similar to what this guy grew up with. And so we're gonna be going through this. A childhood in Athens. No sign of Socrates, though. Athens, down south. I'm trying to remember what town it is, but we'll get to it. Alabama.
Emma Balama.
That place. All right. Before Fred bailed out and got the hell out of the country while he had a chance. All right, once again, from Mr. Fred Reed. Fred on everything. Just remember, not just another religion. All right. It is common for aging men, worn by the long years of drink and skirt chasing and strenuous dissolution in the flesh pots of Asia, or any available flesh pots, to remember their youth in rosette hues that never were. But damn it, we really did go barefoot and had BB guns.
Yeah,
And the dog could go anywhere it damn well pleased and come back when it chose.
yeah.
Athens, Alabama, in 1957 was a small southern town, like countless others in Dixie, with a statue of a Confederate soldier in the town square,
Yeah.
and little evidence of government of any kind, which was well, since they didn't need any. While the South had not fared well in its ardent resistance to federal regulation a century earlier, good way to look at it too, still there was little meddling by Washington in my years there. The South's martial displeasure with federal intrusion was remembered. When I moved down from Virginia, I was to other kids that damn yank on the corner, until I learned to wrap words in a comfortable padding of syllables, as God intended.
Just a quick aside.
I'll make it quick here, dude.
When I was in South Carolina, people from North Carolina were damn Yankees.
This is amazing to me. All right. Let's see. Although my father was a mathematician at the Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, and perhaps entitled to social pretensions, he didn't have any. Consequently, I lived as a half-wild disciple of Tom Sawyer. So did most of the town's boys. Come summer, we at first tentatively abandoned shoes. No one thought this odd because it wasn't. Soon our soles toughened to leather, and we walked everywhere, even on gravel, without ill effect. And nobody cared. Oh, sweet age of nobody cared. Child Protective Services didn't show up, officious passive-aggressive snots to carry my parents away. Today they would, droning on about hygiene and worms and crippling cuts from broken glass and parental irresponsibility. Many of my friends lost feet to these perils. To this day, you can see them rolling about in wheelchairs in the dozens. Bullshit. Foot naked and fancy-free, we went to the Limestone drugstore on the town square, piled our ball gloves and BB guns inside the door, and read comic books for hours. The owner, a frizzly, red-headed man in his 70s who we only knew as Coochie, he liked little boys. Today, this would be thought evidence of pedophilia, and he would be required to undergo therapy and wear an ankle bracelet. Actually, Coochie just liked kids. And since it was his store, nobody at corporate got his panties in a knot because the comic books were read into virtual dust without ever being bought. The federal government had not yet regulated small-town soda fountains to protect us. It's still there, 57 years later. Much has changed inside, but the current owners, whoever they are, had the decency to preserve the original soda fountain. The devastating plagues that swept the South in those years, seriously unrecorded, were doubtless the result of bare feet and limestone drug. Obviously. BB guns, I said. We all had them. Most were the Red Ryder model, costing, I think, $4.95 in as-yet uninflated currency. Mine was the Daisy Eagle, a more glorious version with a plastic telescopic sight. Every corner store sold big packs of BBs. We went everywhere with these lethal arms, often with a ball glove hung over the barrel for convenient carrying. Today, children of 6 years are led from classrooms in handcuffs for merely drawing a rifle, which is curious in the world's most militarily aggressive country. I suppose we would have been executed for actually having one, but, as I say, the saving benefits of federal counsel had not yet reached Athens. What did we do with these weapons? Well, first, we didn't shoot each other or anyone else. We weren't stupid. Stupidity properly comes with adolescence, and then is directed into drink and insane driving, as it should be. A BB gun provided excellent training in marksmanship because you can see over the sights the little coppery pellet arching into the distance. It produces an eye for elevation and windage that shows up on the rifle ranges of Paris Island. I remember afternoons of shooting cottonmouths from the rusting iron bridge over the creek near the Valley Gin Company, which is no longer existent. I remember in the South, gin means a place that takes seeds out of cotton, instead of vodka made unpalatable by the addition of juniper juice. Further, we tried to shoot dragonflies that flitted in iridescent blues and greens among the swamp weeds, wings making a papery rustle. Usually we missed. These insects, known in various locales as the devil's darning needles, snake doctors, or skeeter hawks, were elusive. Today they would be a protected species. Buying a BB gun would require proof of adulthood. Capacity would be restricted by federal law to 6 BBs, the purchase of which would require registration and a waiting period. In 1957 Athens, they figured BB guns were none of the government's goddamn business. That concept has been forgotten. However, regulation is not without reason. If you walk around the town today, you will notice that perhaps just over half the men are blind and at least one eye from BB wounds, as they roll about in wheelchairs because of feet lost to going barefoot. My pooch at the time was Penny, an agreeable gal dog given to occasional promiscuity. This was only human of her. She was a cross between something and something else, as dogs should be. I do not like snooty, purebred dogs who eat only at the finest restaurants and probably have psychiatrists.
Mine don't.
At night, Penny sometimes slept on the foot of my bed, common in those days. When she wanted to go out, she scratched at the door and went. I don't know where she went. She was a grown dog, competent to manage her own affairs. When she returned, she scratched and came in. This did on 2 occasions result in new little dogs, but no system is perfect. Pretty much identical to our house, now gone. Today she would require a license, vaccinations, enrollment in Obamacare, and an implanted chip so the NSA could protect her from terrorists, which was always common in Athens. She would have to be constantly on a leash, like all other Americans, and Child Protective Services would carry my parents away for letting her sleep on my bed. This would be for our own good. Statistics from the Centers of Disease Control show that between 1950 and 60, 1.2 million Southern children died of dog poisoning. Further, unleashed dogs like Penny frequently killed and ate old people rocking on their porches. I didn't understand that when Penny licked my hand, she was checking for flavor. Such was America, when it was America. It was a hell of a country, warts and all. And Athens was a hell of a childhood. These will never be again, but they were. And for those who knew them, it was enough. Fred Reed. Fred on everything. We got about 4 minutes, gentlemen. Daryl, any thoughts?
Well, I'll make one little comment to his thing. We used to take the BB gun to try and shoot the primer on a 12-gauge shotgun shell.
Doesn't surprise me they were from you. That's a good damn shot, brother. That's a good damn shot.
When we found that, then we went to 22s.
I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to go out to Walmart and get a BB gun. Well, wait a minute, 22s? No. No.
Can you pass the background check
For what?
for a BB gun?
I'll go across state lines and buy one illegally. Fuck them. All right. They still hang BB guns off the, well, when you can find them. They still hang them off the walls or on the shelf back in the sporting goods section. So yeah, I don't imagine that's too much of them. They haven't decided background checks for those yet. Okay, guys, any parting thoughts at all? Because we're getting ready to wrap this up here.
Nope.
John, anything at all?
No. Why bother?
What do you mean, why bother? What the hell, dude? What's the matter?
No, I just almost everything that he just described, I mean, was my childhood in the 70s.
Oh, I get you. It hadn't completely gone to hell yet. Up until probably the early 70s, maybe early to mid 70s, yeah, that stuff still existed. When in my neighborhood, when it rained, our municipal swimming pool was the street when the storm drains backed up. That's why my immune system was practically bulletproof. We swam in storm.
You know, I drank creek water.
Yeah.
So I did all the time.
And I don't mean accidentally got some in my mouth. I drank it because I was thirsty.
Yeah, it's water.
When I was
It's water.
when we were out hunting, we just go to the stream.
You know,
Really?
Yeah.
You never sound like a horse.
Yeah.
I was big into BMX when I was a kid, bicycle motocross.
Sure.
And you know, I used to build. We used to build, you know, makeshift ramps and see how far and high we could jump.
We did that with skateboards and stuff on the
Broke my ass, broke my face. I don't know how many times. From
That
crash
is
landing.
The shittiest, you're an asshole.
What do you say?
That explains a lot.
Oh, okay.
The shittiest construction on the whole planet, we still did it.
Yeah.
One more thing. I just remembered. Newsflash: Hillary is not going to run for president in 2016.
Results from her colonoscopy came
Yes.
out. She's got a brain tumor.
She's got a brain tumor. Yep.
Well, it must be an awful big one.
No, that would be Michelle.
That's too much. We could have used this a half hour ago. I didn't go a half hour and stop going. All right, folks, that pretty much kills it for now. So. So until we see you next time, God bless the Republic.
Death to the New World Order.
We shall prevail, ladies and gentlemen.
We're on the march. They're on the run.
And
don't forget to hug your rifle.
We'll see you next time. Shit.
Yeah, and you ate raw hamburger with no worry from Jack.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
My grandfather's favorite, Jack, I know you probably listen on the squirrel camp. My grandfather's favorite sandwich was what he called a cannibal sandwich. Raw hamburger pressed into a patty on homemade bread with a slice of tomato and onion out of his own garden, a little salt and pepper. That was his favorite sandwich.
Oh, having bread, you use onion and tomato out of your garden today. It hasn't been approved by the,
Oh, yeah, I got a bit of an heirloom.
Speaking of which,
came after you.
our garden yielded almost
Yielded
three, yielded it,
Yeah.
almost 3 gallons of homemade sauce.
Kick ass.
You guys gotta come over for some lasagna.
We've used ours all up, and we made about 3 gallons.
Next year, or this year, I should say, we're,
Anybody that can't grow tomatoes isn't trying hard enough. Because you can grow them fuckers anywhere.
yeah.
They did good, but the rest of my garden rotted out.
We can't grow shit for anything else, but
I got it.
we got some tomatoes, boy. Wow.
Like I said, tomatoes, you can grow them practically anywhere. I like the hanging baskets that grow, you know.
Upside down.
Yeah, those are, I mean, you can grow tomatoes anywhere.
They even have
There is a trick on growing potatoes using a stack of tires. And just, as you harvest the potatoes, you remove a tire, and then you continue on down through the soil.
Oh, yeah?
I gotta remember where I saw it. It's one hell of an idea. Instead of having them all over the damn place, the plants keep growing as you harvest the one level, they grow in and grow to the next level. And you keep working them down, using old used tires as a column. I can't remember the details, but I do want to check that out because it's a great idea. Alright, let's drop that down, get rid of that.
Do we have any good comments on the, it's too early.
On the squirrel camp? Well, just, from what I've seen so far, the audio on Justin's interview was good. I wish we would've used that when we had Doug on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, now we learned something.
Now we know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
That's another thing.
What's that?
Used to play with toy soldiers when I was a kid,
Mhm.
just like every
Before they
other-
were called action figures.
Yeah, and before they were, you know, shunned by society. Jack said, that's the America we need to get back to.
No kidding, bro. But you know as well as I do, it ain't ever gonna happen, not until we thin the herd out.
Emily said, related to that, the school lunch thing,
Yeah.
the Hunger Games at elementary school?
I have yet to read or even see anything about the Hunger Games.
Yeah, I haven't.
So,
thought about
Good
that.
point.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I am going to eventually get the books, because apparently they're actually pretty well written. And, what are you doing?
Trying to stand up straight.
I was wondering what the hell was going on.
For some reason, I'm a little, I'm not tipsy.
You really didn't have that much beer.
I just kinda lost my balance a little bit.
Well, don't do that.
Sometimes if you move too fast, it'll
Yeah.
throw your balance off.
I'll explain that one here in a minute. 2014 ER.
Well, nobody picked up on the wet rag issue. That's what I was concerned about.
Let's see.
Thin ice, boys, thin ice.
No doubt. February 1st. February 1st.
Soon to be replaced by
February 2nd. February 2nd. Groundhog Day! Yes. Well, there can be only one. I didn't get to go off on my Groundhog Day rant.
Hey,
There can be only one. All you other also-rans and false prophets. Anyhow.
if you aren't doing anything tomorrow,
The only thing I want to do is run out to the truck and try and start it again.
well, you
Other than that, no, we're good.
come in. We ordered 2 pizzas we're gonna pick up tomorrow for the Super Bowl. Not that the Super Bowl is anything fantastic.
No, it's 2 teams I couldn't give 2 shits about.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I've even got a little bit, I even got a worse taste, because after the Seattle Seahawks
Yeah.
won their game to go into the Super Bowl, the announcer went down to talk to this one player. And
I
he
did-
just went apeshit on
I
her.
heard about some sort of rant.
Yeah.
Like I said, that wasn't...
Don't you go talking about me! Don't you talk about me! She said, I wasn't talking about you, you know.
Hey, we're still recording, right? That's cool.
Yeah,
We got all kinds of time. Kinda forgot to start
So
it.
that kinda put me in a bad mood for them, so,
Like I said, I've got no dog in that fight. The Super Bowl.
What's that?
Super Bowl. I got no dog in that fight.
well, I don't either, but I'm thinking about rooting for, San Francisco just because of they.
I'm not in the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry, that's right, Denver. See, it just shows you I don't even know who's in there.
I can't root for Denver either, because they're part of the whole gun grab shit over there.
Oh, there was a pro-gun ad filmed for the, Super Bowl.
Yeah,
It got banned.
It was banned. I don't know if it's been reinstated or not. There was some talk about actually reinstating it. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Once again, to everybody in the squirrel camp.
Hi.
God bless every one of you for showing up. Kind of curious as to, apparently John's quick fix worked, but you know what he's planning on doing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
By the time I'm done, this place will be about 3 times its size, and
In that case, I want a walk-in beer cooler right there.
you can do that.
if you got the money, you can build one onto the back.
Or less work and not have to reload so much. We need a kegerator
Yeah.
for draft beer, which is anytime we want some, we go over there with our 32-ounce mugs.
Only 32?
Otherwise, it's gonna get flat before we kill it.
Well,
With us sitting here bullshit, it'll get warm. and
Actually, I had an opportunity to get us a kegerator, and I missed it.
flat.
I didn't miss it. It was donated to the fire department, but I almost had us a kegerator in here.
I gotta wonder about that.
Well, I'm telling you, when we leave tonight, if you guys can carry these monitors out of here, we got room to put a kegerator in if we get rid of them things. Take them in and put them in the shop so I can haul them out the state.
Well, let's think about this. Do we want a kegerator, or do we want to build one out of an old refrigerator?
That's much easier said than done.
I've got the plans on my computer.
Do you?
Yeah, finding the fridge is the problem. And which would be more energy efficient? The actual kegerator that's designed
An
for
old
or the
refrigerator.
old fridge, which, you know,
An old refrigerator is not very efficient.
no, it's not. That's why I was wondering. But, and I don't think anything more than, something small enough to fit a quarter barrel. We don't need a half barrel of beer in here, especially if we're drinking it in like 2 weeks. But if we do get a draft setup in here, I will buy us the 32-ounce mugs, because I've already got the glassware for champagne up here. I'm gonna have a fully stocked glass bar up here. Some Glencairn glasses for whiskey. We'll be purchasing those and putting them up here.
Well, I'll
That's
put
gonna
another
rack.
shelf up, I'll put another shelf up so we have shelf space to put them.
That would be very cool. What are we having to drink tonight? Hold on, I have the proper glass for it. 32-ounce beer mugs, we gotta get one.
Couple
for Sandra.
bottles of Knob Creek.
Sandra, we definitely should, well, son of a bitch, stocking an entire bar in here. We can do that over time. The beer is a constant drink, mostly just to keep us hydrated and keep the throats lubricated while we're speaking. But if we want something a little bit stronger, just have a shelf up there with some good stuff.
No wild turkey.
Now, hold on. We won't be passing it around. If he wants some wild turkey, he can get down your glass and pour himself a couple fingers.
Yeah, we're not gonna get it for you.
Everybody will bring in what their favorite...
You wanna bleed?
Every
That's an old technique, you know.
one of us can bring in what our favorite beverage is. And me, I'm going to bring in, I've got a couple scotches that I've been looking to try. I found out that the local state store actually has a very good selection of single malts.
I have developed recently, and it started with my my tooth problems. I have developed an affinity for Captain Morgan.
I don't think I've ever had Captain Morgan.
I have, it's pretty
Spiced
good.
rum?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's good.
That and gingerbread.
You can mix Captain Morgan with so much.
Well, that's just it.
Even in
Anything,
even
using
in-
it as a mix, yeah, okay.
even in sweet tea,
Well, sure.
it's good. Dr. Pepper,
I've heard it's excellent.
oh my God.
But like I said, when I am drinking liquor, it's usually neat. And, I acquired an affinity for scotch back when my daughter took off. It was cheap scotch, but I actually started to get a taste for scotch. I killed off a half bottle of Clan McGregor by myself while I was loading magazines to the FAL. I was getting ready to go after the fucker that took the girl.